And then when you're done, we are live. You can put that. You can put your legs underneath it. Nicky Hill standing in for Austin this week.
That's how it feels. The man did a fantastic job.
He is a
Austin, we speak your name.
A consummate professional.
Consummate professional. Huh? That's great. Yeah, beautiful. Never seen anything
consummate. He's great with consonants.
Consummate. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Episode 946. The Bramblin Podcast.
Oh, you beat me to it.
You want to tell us about Bramblin, please? Bramblin Entertainment.
Bramblin, a soul unable to move on to the afterlife, was blown around by the wind until it got tangled up with dried grass and became a Pokemon.
Is this for real? Every other one is like, this is it. This is how it's made. This is what it becomes. But this one's
here's
like
the best thing.
Poetry.
That's it. That's all it says. It doesn't tell you anything else about it.
What's the male-female ratio?
They're too well. There's
much do they
those
weigh?
things happen,
Okay.
but that's the only description you're gonna get. Geez, Louise, I think I'm like, I don't know. Like I can't.
You're rambling.
They're
over
2
here.
feet tall. They're a pound. They're male and female. Categories tumbleweed. And abilities include Wind Rider, which boosts the Pokemon's attack stat if the Tailwind takes effect, or if the Pokemon is hit by a wind move. Or and the Pokemon also takes no damage from wind moves.
Mom Brain just woke up from a nap, everybody, so she's a little out of it. And she just popped a pill a few minutes ago, so
Oh.
And you told me no alcohol.
I said no alcohol. That's
Yeah,
correct.
but
Pills. Lots, but you never asked.
Oh,
You're not a pill
man.
popper.
The pill I took was Mucinex.
Yes, that is true. We don't need to get into semantics here.
And then the handful of other things that I have been prescribed. However,
but you didn't take them right now.
no, I took them this morning.
Thanks, Mom Brain.
Thanks,
You're
my brain.
welcome.
Mom Brain is sick. Yes, but
It's never happened to me in my life. I was sick with like a nasty cold. It went away and then it came back. Like it went away.
Whoa,
it
wait,
didn't
wait,
go
wait, wait,
away,
wait,
away.
wait.
You
Hold
never
on.
sounded like your normal self. You got
Two-
close.
Was it 2 weeks ago you were sick? And then 3 weeks ago, and then right after that, Michaels was sick. Should I be opening
He
the
was
window?
a different
Should I-
kind of
should
sick. I shouldn't air out his dirty laundry, but let's
He
just
was
say
sick
he
in the
has some
bum.
dirty laundry.
He was sick in the bum.
Towels and
I'll let
Should we-
him tell the story when he's back. Why? No.
Yeah, if you
This is the first
Go
this
put
is-
your-
See, I'm being serious. He's not being
Go
serious.
put your
Me?
N95
I wanna open a
mask
window.
on,
I
you
would like
big
to
Oh,
baby.
well, then go ahead and
I mean,
open it.
if we're concerned
it
at all,
does seem a little.
No one
stuffy
is
in here.
concerned but you. But if you want to open a
I'm
window, go right ahead.
concerned.
Oh, now you're
I'm
concerned?
Open that window.
You are such a bad liar. I'm concerned. You don't care about anything.
That's not true. I care about myself.
There, that's it. Hello, Kurt Dog and Giant Reggie and Dre Gamer and Grantimus and NicoDarunia and 10th Division and Red Souza and Burn and Cheese and Drake
Oh,
and
I mean, no disrespect.
I can get in this chat.
Vachi and Gecko Kitsune and whoever else pops in here. I see that Alarmo, Drake. We got ours in the living room right now.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, Roth. Hello,
Robbie, I
Isolar.
have a story about that for you later.
Do you have a
Did you
story
know Nintendo
about how
made a-
you sent me an article from The Verge saying that there's a thing
Listen.
called Alarmo? Yes,
Y-
I
here-
did know that.
So here's the thing.
Hello,
about
Radical
that.
Defect.
I see these things.
Hi, Kyle.
And I go to myself. I said, you know who would love this? I was like, Robbie Cowboy would love this. And I send it to him, not
Yes.
even thinking. And then
Hi, you and
literally right after I send it, I say, what the hell am I doing? I was like, he runs a freaking Nintendo
Now,
site.
hold
he
on.
obviously is going to know about this.
Now, hold on. I do appreciate it, and that is very nice of you. I like that you're like, my friend would like this and would want to know. And then you're like, oh my God, of course he knows. It is just very funny that, like, if I was getting Nintendo news from you and I hadn't shared it yet, I'd be like, what's going on?
You know, that's what I appreciate the
know.
most is that like it's not like you sent it to him thinking I'm breaking this story.
No,
Even
like,
when there was a
that wasn't it
chance.
at all. I was just like, Robbie, oh my
Yeah.
God, this
Even-
is perfect for him. And then I'm like, I'm
Even
an
when there was a
idiot. I was
chance
like,
when
why
you
would I-
worked for a very prominent department store and you potentially could have gotten news that way, like you wouldn't have shared the news because
Maybe he
you
did.
can't, like,
Maybe he did.
professionally, right? But here we are. But the other thing you don't know is that Lube has a folder of all newspaper clippings and stuff of all your achievements too. He's very proud of you.
Oh, okay.
Well, Rami does have an aunt who reads like
Right, 10
physical,
division.
you know, she gets like the newspaper and stuff, and she will send us
I have-
articles, and it's the greatest thing of all time. Like,
I
it's
have
so great.
I have a small little clipping from the newspaper when we went in to see Miyamoto.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I'm aware of the man.
that I think my mom clipped out of the newspaper that said something about
Lube sent
like,
me an article about him once.
it said like, you know, nerds
Come
head
on,
into
Dom.
the city to see video game god or whatever it was said.
Sounds like something the paper would write.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lube, not to make you feel worse about it, but my dad does that all the time too, where he's like, "You see this thing in the New York Times? It's about," and then it's about like some Nintendo game that came out 2 weeks ago. I'm like, Dad, thank you. I actually did see that. I think about it. Not a single day goes by where I don't think about Nintendo and write about it. So
Yeah, I felt like such a dummy.
I listen. It's the thought that counts, and I appreciate it. Kurt Duck says my sister kind of does something similar. She'll sometimes send me funny Mario videos and memes in the vein of, "What if Mario did drugs, and what if Peach likes getting kidnapped?" I don't have the heart to tell her those jokes were overdone on Newgrounds like 20 years ago. Yes, Kurt Dog, I have multiple friends who don't know anything about what's going on in the world of Nintendo at all. Like their knowledge
Guilty.
of Nintendo ended probably when the NES was still around. So they'll send me like, they're never going to listen. There's a friend I have who messaged me and they're like, "Look at this. It's a Nintendo Entertainment System tree ornament." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got one of those. Thank you." Blah, blah, blah. By the way, the article said it was a Super Nintendo and it was a NES. And I was like, sending this to me, I'm like, of course I know about this. But on top of that, it makes me angry because it's wrong. And I can't even tell you that because you don't care. So, it is what it is. It's the Instagram people. That's the problem. If people sending you, if people are,
just said that.
oh, did he? My brother sends me Instagram videos with stuff like that. I'm like, yep, I saw that. Yeah, the Instagram people are what's the word?
Like
They're
influencers?
They're
Or just...
no. The people who regular Joe Schmoes that use Instagram are always terminally behind the times. It's like, here's a reel, and I'm like, yes, I saw this 3 weeks ago. I saw this a couple
I
months
will
ago.
say there's sometimes I see reels on like Facebook or Instagram, and I want to save it for our TikTok gatherings,
Mhm.
and I go to TikTok to the same person's account, and it doesn't exist yet. So some people are flipping the narrative. No, the order in which they post, perhaps.
Maybe, I don't know. Radical Defect says, "I like hearing stories like this makes me happy though, because like at least your friends family care enough." I dig it.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's the important part. That is very true. Hello to MomBrain. How are you?
I've
That
been better.
Mucinex kick in yet? I said, did that Mucinex kick in
No.
yet? Nicky Hill's here.
Hello,
How are you doing?
feeling older than ever.
Oh, that's right. Nicky Hill's birthday was yesterday, and I'll let him share his age if he wants to. Lube is here.
I'm feeling great
I didn't
in
ask how you were feeling.
physically and mentally.
Well, that's great. Josh Grobot is here. My friend from college days. How are you doing? Josh, hello.
I'm the
Josh, come in.
world's best singer.
Hey, yay. Really? Whoop, 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 whoop.
Hell yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks for letting me take the reins. And of course, George is here. George, how are you? How was your week?
George, no.
What have you been up to, George?
Good
Anything
job.
big?
Dropping limes.
Well, I guess you are constantly dropping them. It's true, but
It's got a lot. I've been juggling a lot this week.
oh, I get it. Yeah, busy time of the year for everybody. What are you looking for there, Mom Brain?
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
What do you think about? What?
Oh,
Nicky Hill.
Oh, thank you, Josh.
What an honor.
Remember that time George started singing the Star Spangled Banner?
I do remember that. You know,
It's a similar hook.
George has other gigs that he does during the week, and that's one of them. So thank you, Josh. Nobody does it.
You
like
know what would be awesome if we could get George his own cameo.
Wow. Well, that's up to George. Really. Kurt Dog says Josh doesn't sing for free anymore. He knows his value. Yeah, he brings in the big bucks. Do Michaels is not here. He is at a concert. I won't say what or where, but he's at a concert.
Two Michaels.
speak your
We
name.
speak
We
your
do
name.
speak his name with an uku. Yes, Grantimus, you're right.
Woohoo.
Hi TKO, good to see you. And we speak Austin's name. He was only here for one episode, but it was lovely to have him last week.
Yeah.
Had a great time hanging out with him. It was very surreal, but in a wonderful way. I would say it was like nothing. You know, like I said, I've been playing games with him online for years, and I've known him even longer than that. And this was our first time meeting in person. They stayed here for 2 days. Him and his partner stayed here for 2 days, and it was like I was seeing an old friend. It went completely fine.
I was gonna say I didn't make it to the podcast. Thank you for keeping my seat warm, sir.
Austin specifically requested that you would not be here, which is why you were why you were
I
away.
get it.
But you came after.
Yeah, and well, I showed up later, and when I shook his hand, we tore a hole through the space-time continuum. I don't know.
Why?
Too much awesomeness.
Oh, too much
No,
Austin. in
Basically,
this?
came here. I'm awkward. I hope I didn't insult him in any way.
How long are you going to dwell on this? You didn't do anything at all. He said he had a wonderful time.
I showed up. I said, "Hey, jerk bait." No.
By the way, he
Anyway.
left his water bottle here. So
Drink
if
out of it.
anybody
Is
wants it, he says
We're selling it.
doesn't matter what I do to it. So I'll sell it, put it up on eBay. Yeah, but it's got his mouth germs on it, and who knows, maybe there's like a hair in there or something.
His DNA's all over.
All over.
For the
it.
short amount of time that I was able to hang out last week, it really did feel like just a friend from high school or even middle school that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
Just hanging out.
yeah, we BS'd and joked around like the whole time he was here, just hanging out and talking and eating, and that was about it. But the night of the podcast, after the podcast, I set him up with UFO 50 to play it because I thought it'd be right up his alley, and he was planning on playing it for 45 minutes, and he stayed up until almost 3 a.m. playing. So it was a good 3+ hours where we were just. I'll talk more about it later, but we had a really, really great time. So thank you to Austin. We miss you. It was great to see you. I don't know. I don't even want to say rumor. If he has time, he's going to come back out here in February for the Royal Rumble, but also to be in the podcast again. So if that happens, I'll let you know in advance. Fingers crossed that it does. I think that's it. All right. We got all the regular stuff. But first, Nikki Hill, yesterday was your birthday. I feel horrible that you have told us this story about how you ate too many peanut M&Ms because we got you a thing of peanut M&Ms.
Oh my gosh.
We did get you a box of cookies.
Oh, thank you.
But there are chocolate cookies in there. So,
I'm gonna.
I mean, you could look.
I'm afraid to open it because Lube has cookies over there, and the smell of chocolate had made me a little.
There are
Crazy.
chocolate ones in there, but there's non-chocolate ones as well. You need to counteract the chocolate with non-chocolate.
Oh my gosh, look at this
like
one.
From like a fancy bakery place.
It is, yes.
This is a 3D.
It's a s'mores. So marshmallow
exploding.
and graham cracker, and there's
It's
chocolate, but
chocolate,
we could
kind of
ignore the
like
chocolate.
Coming out in a 3D world.
They are good. They are good. What else? did
Coming
we
at
get? I don't
you
remember.
live and in person. Or whatever.
Ginger
What do they say?
molasses, a sprinkle cookie,
Ginger and molasses. It's-
Oh yeah, I got you. Right time of the year. So happy
Thank
day
you
after
so
birthday
much.
again. Did you have a nice birthday yesterday?
You know, I worked, and in a time of not working very much, it
Oh,
it
that's
was
right.
delightful. I also worked on a show that I don't get to work on often, and just gonna say it here if nobody from that show is listening, but if they were, it's like family. Like you show up and they bring you in. They've got Entenmann's. Give you a little slice of a cake that's been sitting there in the event that somebody shows up. They just can't. It's like what's a thing? I don't know.
What is
a
a
nice
thing?
warm bath or a nice, which is weird to say with that many people. in the
Seeing
same
my
room.
friends is like a nice warm bath.
It's just
My
cozy.
work
A
friends.
blanket. How about a blanket, not a bath?
Sure.
You know?
Also, it should be noted
It's
A nice
cozy
wet
environment.
blanket.
It's just such a great group of
Hoodie.
people.
that when we were all together earlier this week, Nikki Hill's mom sent over pizza in honor of his birthday.
And Nicky Hill ate a lot of it, as he should, because it was his
Too
birthday.
much
That pizza was good.
It was.
Man, was that good. That is a good pizza
Yeah.
joint.
So eating a lot.
Domino's, it's called
I'm
Domino's.
gaining
little local
gaining
joint.
days.
I think they're gonna
and-
make it. Yes, it was a fun time. I'm like lamenting Austin being here last week because we had such a fun time. And Mom Brain set him and his partner up with inflatable mattress with the Mario bed sheet on it. So
Mario Kart, yeah.
she did them
Mario
up
Kart.
well. So yes, we hope to see you both again soon. That would be lovely.
Speaking of bed sheets, real quick, you know the brand? It's spelled RSVLTS.
I do,
Roosevelt's?
yes.
Did you see the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt that they have? That's
I
the
did
old
see
bed
that.
sheet.
Yes.
We've all had those bed sheets, right?
I had them, yeah. I had that and I had
There's
He-Man.
something. I mean, it's a loud shirt. There's a lot going on. I mean, it's a bed sheet.
It's making a statement.
But I am like, oh, if it wasn't
Yeah, but aren't they-
$70,
legit was gonna say, aren't they expensive? I bet it's $70. It seems like every time I look at anything there, shirt wise, it's
a
$70
sheet
bucks.
set?
No, a
no,
shirt.
a shirt
Oh, a
that
shirt.
looks like the old
The classic
Teenage Mutant
style.
Ninja Turtles.
It's 70 bucks for a shirt is a lot.
I
Think about
bought one of them.
Costco prices for clothing.
I
and
bought-
and the quality you're getting.
I bought one of those
Hi,
shirts.
Solomon Mesterling.
The Haunted Mansion shirt. It's like the
Yes.
eyes, like the wallpaper of the Haunted Mansion.
Hi, Malak Halo.
Yes.
Just because it's a nice hollow, like I don't know, it gets a little chilly around here, I guess, around Halloween, but still, the shirt is fun. The shirt's very comfortable, incredibly
Is
comfortable.
the game fun?
It is, and
The game is fun.
thank you, Reggie. It's oh, here we go.
The game is not fun.
No, you're wrong. It is fun. We already went over this.
My body is ready.
Yeah, it probably. You know what? Your body is not ready for how comfortable the shirt really is.
What's wrong with you?
I love the shirt.
The game is fun.
We talked about this already, but thank you, Reggie.
Very limited vocabulary since he left Nintendo. I got to get that 3DS one on there. All right. First things first. This was a surprise to me. I know it was talked about a little bit, but it happened by surprise, and it's
Oh yeah,
available
Lube
right
sent you
now.
the video for the Alarmo.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
People have been asking, Rami, when are you going to get on BlueSky? Are you going to do BlueSky? People get on BlueSky. And I know this week was a very big week for BlueSky. I believe, don't quote me, but I believe something like 500,000 people went over to BlueSky this week because X, formerly Twitter, or as I say on the site, Twitter, currently X, did a thing where they were like, whoa, oh, that's my Discord on my laptop. Did a thing that was like, all the images you put on here can be used by AI to do whatever. And people are like, nope, no, thank you. So a whole bunch of people shifted over to BlueSky. And now let me make sure. Oh boy. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get out of these notifications. I forgot to do that. So now we're over there. There's a post on the site where you can read all the information that's on the front page. But if you want to go to follow us on BlueSky, it's GoNintendo.com. Just go over to BlueSky
what is
and
Blue
go to
Sky?
GoNintendo.com.
So, yeah, I'm really old.
For
What
me,
the
Blue
hell
Sky-
In
is
terms
Blue
of you guys,
Sky?
Blue Sky
let's
just
say
means what Clarendon. to
it's a
me.
Twitter alternative or a Threads alternative. It's another social media platform that is not run by Elon Musk. So that's really all you need to know.
But-
and if you want to go over there, you
Who
can.
runs
Do
it?
they censor, or do they only censor the people that they want to censor? I mean, at the same time of talking
Did you
about
two talk together
not
before this show
censoring?
started? Because you're doing his like shtick, but like you're doing it with your own spin. You go to BlueSky and find out. We're just providing you the source. If you want to go over there, go ahead. And thank you for the support that's happened over there already. I am not like an active user of BlueSky, but you guys sniffed us out before we even announced it, and we got 300 followers over there already. So you guys are news hungry. But now there's your official announcement.
question.
Go to BlueSky, GoNintendo.com. We're still going to do X, and we're still going to do Threads, and we're still on Facebook, wherever you want to get the Go Nintendo news. Lube will send it to
Are
me,
we on
and then I will
MySpace?
give it to you.
I'll get
Are we on
mine from
MySpace?
The Verge.
We are
and then
not-
Send it to Rob.
We are not on MySpace. The Verge is a good site, by the way.
Do we have a Friendster
informative.
account?
Huh?
Friendster?
No, not that I know of.
What does Blue Sky do? that's
Farmers
different?
only.
Well, you don't
What do
have to
they
be
do
lonely.
that's different?
Do they
In
do
terms of
anything?
what? I mean, they're all basically more or less the same social media kind of thing, but they have different permissions, and they, how you follow or whatever, quote unquote, over there. It's just like all the things are slightly different, but they're basically
What's
their take
color
on
scheme?
Twitter.
Oh,
I'll
so
let you
Blue
guess.
Sky is from
Blue?
Twitter's ex-CEO. if
Yes,
I
that is
recall.
also true.
Oh,
But Blue Sky's
That
better.
tells you all you need
But
to know,
Blue,
I guess.
I should stress this. I guess Blue Sky is not new. Like it's been around for a long time. It's just like really gearing up ever since Elon took over.
Well, yeah,
but-
because people want an alternative.
On top of that, with the things that happened this week, people like there was another big influx. So you have Threads and you have Blue Sky, and Threads is Mark Zuckerberg, not the best guy. I'm not going to get into it, but people
he looks like he's
prefer
been
him
working out,
to.
right?
Well, he wanted to fight Elon. People prefer him to Elon. But then there's Blue Sky as well, and there's no, you ask people who's the creator of Blue Sky or who's like the face of Blue Sky. They definitely know Elon for Twitter. They might know Zuckerberg for Threads. Nobody knows about Blue Sky.
Can I also just
Yeah.
say, if there was ever like a name of a tech company
Blue Sky.
that had like an illusion or whatever, or like kind of had that feeling that this is the one that's going to be like the Skynet, it's Blue Sky, right?
Just because it says Sky.
I know there's something about it where it's just like Blue Sky, like it's so inviting, like Blue Sky, and then all of a sudden, and then it
It
turns.
sounds like
and
something
the robots,
like a boomer would write on Facebook.
Yeah.
I don't know about that Blue Sky. It reminds me of Skynet, and that historical movie told
Listen,
me.
I just use Skynet as a reference because
Blue
that's what we
Skynet.
know.
That's the
but-
full name.
Blue Sky just sounds like the tech company that does have domination in mind.
But we have one of those, and it's X.
But X is a silly name, and it doesn't sound like Blue Sky. I'm just saying, by name alone is all.
But we got SpaceX too, and they're not just world domination; they're universe
Wait a minute, was
domination.
SpaceX before X? Is that what
It's Elon's thing.
Is
He
that- that's
wanted
the
to
branding?
he wanted to name PayPal X. This is not a lie. He's been trying to push X
What's
forever.
the Amazon guy's outer space thing? Blue Horizon,
Origin. Blue Origin.
I don't know.
right? Isn't there like
yeah, I don't know.
all these blue
SpaceX just
skies?
had. I mean, I don't like Elon at all, but SpaceX just had
Oh, so
an
cool.
amazing thing. They were
The
the first ever. Yeah,
Chopstick capture.
I watched it,
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
pretty
that
cool.
is impressive. And I saw like the video of the people
Did you think to
on
yourself
the
I
beach
could do that?
watching it happen and like cheering, huh?
Did you think to yourself I could do that? Probably
Yeah,
I
it
could
was
operate
pretty
that thing.
amazing.
What part? Oh, I don't think it's somebody with like pinchers closing it. Like it's
Nice.
all.
Oh, that would be
automated.
awesome if it was, and like it ends up getting like pinballed. They're
Like
like,
your hand in like a power glove. And...
I got it. That is pressure, man. Yeah, I don't think it's done like that. Whole bunch of people are hitting a whole bunch of buttons to make that happen. But yeah, I don't think it's one guy who's the claw machine expert. That's I've practiced at the
Did you
Jersey
see the
Shore for
story
years
about
to
him?
do
Like he gets discovered by like
Yeah.
Elon at like a claw machine in
And
like
it
a
was-
H Mart or something.
what is it? Danny LaRusso or
That's
whatever.
what I was thinking.
Chopsticks.
So
fly.
Blue Sky, go follow us if you want. Thank you for your support. If you're there already,
Daniel LaRusso? What
Tommy Lasorda is who you're trying to think of. By the way, last week we talked about Austin and I shared some war stories from the internet because he does a whole bunch of stuff on YouTube, and I do a whole bunch of stuff on my website and social media, and we both have interacted with horrible fans and
What?
emails that are bad
You?
and mean and weird and whatever. And I thought since we just had that conversation, I had an email that popped up today that is fantastic. And I'll read it to you. I will not say the person's name.
Hoagie sandwich.
So no, it's not
Poop
poop
diarrhea.
diarrhea or hoagie sandwich. Yesterday, no, today actually, it was probably like 2 a.m. or something. Mock Turtle, a reader of the site, got in touch and they were like, "Hey, check this out. On Disney Plus right now, Agatha All Along is airing. It's the latest MCU piece. It's a TV show, and it's about Agatha Harkness, the witch. I won't get into story spoilers, blah 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 blah. But Mock Turtle was like, "Did you see that the first episode of Agatha All Along has a song that is almost exactly like a theme song from Bayonetta?" And I was like, "I know Bayonetta, and I like Bayonetta, but I don't really remember the music that deeply." So he sent me the thing, and I watched the video, and I watched the comparison of the song in Bayonetta 2 specifically. And I was like, holy crap, that is pretty damn spot on. I was like, if it's not exactly the same, it is extremely similar. So I put together a story on it. I want to make sure I get to the actual story itself.
Boy.
What?
Did Kevin Feige get in touch with you and
No. Oh, well, no. I think he
Send
would
you
use
death
spell
threats.
check first off. So the song, if you go to the post, it's not a top story, but you can find it. It's like 21 posts down or something. You can see a clip from the first episode of Agatha All Along, and there's 2 sections where this song is played. They're played in different keys, but it's the same melody. The song in Bayonetta 2 is called Tomorrow Is Mine. And there's at the 3-second mark in the Bayonetta 2 song,
Very early on.
you hear the similar tune. So, the section of the song in Agatha All Along is like 3 seconds long, 4 seconds long, and then the same section in the Bayonetta 2 song is roughly that long. What you're listening to in Bayonetta 2 is a woman singing. The melody that she sings is almost exactly the same as the Bayonetta one. I'll play it off my phone speaker. I'm sure that's a terrible idea, but we'll try. We'll try. Let's see what happens here.
I got mugged, mister. She took every...
All right, so that's the 2 ones from Agatha.
Yeah,
Ba-na-na, no, na, 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 no, no, no. That's the
Just when
ditty
you played that
plays.
now, it reminded me of something else.
Now let me play the Bayonetta one. Oh my God! Sign in to confirm you're not a bot. Come on.
Oh boy. Dead air.
Don't worry, I got it in my history. Give me 1 second.
And if anyone wants
There
to
we
know,
go.
no.
Let me turn it down a bit. Here is the Bayonetta song. You listen to this part. They're almost exactly the same. There might be one little note in there that doesn't exist in the other version, but the melody the woman is singing is, I say it's pretty spot
And
on.
what is Bayonetta, Lube?
See?
A
Bayonetta
witch.
is a witch.
Oh.
So I put together a post, not like
She
definitive.
turned
It
me
was just
into a
like,
newt.
hey, listen to these 2 things. They sound similar. And I was like, Agatha All Along is about a witch, and it's about a witch fighting a witch, and it's got all kinds of witch references, pop culture witch references, as well as so there's like dialogue that's related to other witches in pop culture. The credits are filled with other witches, like Lisa Simpson as a witch, and other famous witches from Wizard of Oz and all that stuff. So I said, probably not that far of a stretch to think that maybe the composers, or at least one of them, is a fan of Bayonetta, and they're doing a little musical witch tribute as well. It's possible, but it's not definitive. We don't know. So that's it. Just a fun little story.
But what about that song, like that older song? It's like, I remember finding out about. It's very similar too.
The first 4 notes were pretty similar. Yes, I agree. So I got an email from someone I won't say, but here's what it reads.
It's Agatha.
To whom it may concern, I hate to interrupt, but I thought I'd point out that Agatha All Along does not actually reference the Bayonetta series at all. First of all, they come from 2 entirely different media, and nowhere is it ever actually intended to reference it. Don't
Thank
know.
you.
They're speaking from a place of authority. Don't know where it comes from. Secondly, if you listen closely, you can see that the musical composition following the rift, R-I-F-T, they mean riff, is different than what you've assumed. Both tracks, Agatha's theme and Nicky, are written in 2 entirely different pitches and keys, and are based on an original composition written by the composers. Now, I agree, they are different pitches or keys, but that doesn't mean
Progression is the same.
that mean, transposing up or down, it's still the same. Finally, it sounds like the journalist talking about me is clearly jumping to conclusions and making baseless assumptions about the series without examining any of the evidence or figuring out how Agatha All Along's score is highly different than Bayonetta's. I would suggest you go back to this article and edit it so it has absolutely no connection to the Bayonetta series
And
or
edit it.
any other.
And edit it by deleting it.
Yeah.
Because that's what the story's about. Kyle A figured it out.
Hold on. I'm almost done here. I sincerely hope you acknowledge this fact. Acknowledge me. And to not base this off a popular yet weak and baseless assumption with no substantial evidence to back it up. Here's a link to the article. I hope you acknowledge this error. So they spoke like from a, I was like, I'm like, it's another one of these people, but I was like, Not even gonna bother responding. But let me search. I researched their name to try and get any information on who they are. I'm like, are they in any way, shape, or form related to any of this? They're not, and I can't find anything. So either they're not, or I can't find anything saying they are,
They
and
covered
whatever.
their tracks too well.
It's like
Can we
it's
just-
just nuts.
Can we
It's
just
nuts. And that happens all the time. I've had
can
all
we
kinds
just
of stuff.
enjoy life?
No.
Can we just have anything where
They
we
are
just-
not related.
where we talk about something and say that's funny? It really doesn't mean anything either way.
This is
It's not so much of a ripoff that like money is owed to anybody. It's because whatever, like especially with music, there are musical rifts that happen throughout, decades across decades.
It could
of
be
the musical,
coincidental.
but, like,
It could be an homage. The songs are so like it's one little 3-second snippet of a song. Like, and the songs are 3-4 minutes long. It's just a little thing. If it is in there and it is meant to be a reference, that's cool. That's fun. That's interesting. If it isn't, then it's just a fun coincidence. But when somebody sends me an email like this, I'm like, I always want to get the truth out there. So you're being adamant about this being incorrect. Can you please give me the evidence that this is incorrect? Because there's no evidence.
and in
that
the
there's incorrect.
meantime, it's just similar enough, and let's just have fun. Let's enjoy different mediums because they're different. Like they're not in the same genre or medium, but let's bridge that gap. Let's have fun. Let's talk about things that
Let's
we
have a little
enjoy.
fun.
Period.
Well,
That's the
Kyle A has it right and says Catherine Hahn is sounding a little defensive here.
Yeah.
That's
probably
right.
her.
That's what it is.
It's like I was once listening. I was listening to like a jazz station, and there was a song that was playing. I wish I had the exact name right now, but it sounded
I'm the
very
jazz
much.
man.
It sounded very much like a Fish song by the name of song by the band Fish, and I said that to a friend who's a very big Fish head, and he reacted as if I was attacking and filing a lawsuit. I was like, listen, it's music. They pay tribute to their inspirations. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying this sounds really familiar. I wonder if that's where it came from. And his response to me saying that was again like getting very upset with the fact that I even suggested it. I'm like, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying this is just there it is.
To suggest this shows that you don't even understand Fish on a basic level. Also, that like I said, they were acting as if I was like, look at these two things, they're connected. I just did a thing. I was like, hey, are these connected? Here's the things people are talking about.
Like,
You decide. And on
made
top of that, the title of the article is, did Agatha all along sneak in a musical reference to Bayonetta? There's nothing definitive in even the title. I'm not misleading people from the
These
title.
witches got to stick together.
You also like aren't calling someone's character into question, like
It is
personal
very
character.
strange,
Not,
yeah.
like, I could see it if it was like you were talking about a person in a way that like misrepresented them to be like, you know what? You don't know the person. You like, but
Yeah.
it's not even like hurtful to a person. Like you're not.
But yeah, it's very strange to be like this. Like for this kind of email, it just makes me think they're connected in some way. Like they know someone that, or I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
For me,
but
it's
it is
just that
very odd.
They thought you were getting at something, and they needed to make it clear that you're just wrong.
Correct it. Here's why it's wrong. Because
Also,
you're wrong.
I just don't understand why he said you'll see that there's no connection. Wouldn't it be you would hear that there's no
It's
connection?
funny because I almost made that joke when I was reading the email. Yeah, I thought that as well. But semantics. Yes, Nicky Hill?
Nothing.
Okay, so there you go. That's what it's like writing anything for the world to see. And that's obviously just one example of many things that come away. And this is not a boo-hoo, woe is me thing. It's just funny because Austin and I were talking about that stuff last week. And now here's a perfect example for the podcast. So that's that. We did Agatha. We did BlueSky. The only other thing I will talk about before we get to, oh no, I'm so stupid.
Oh no.
Go ahead. Were you going to do something? Oh, you were going to go into news, weren't you?
No, I was getting ready for Patreon.
Yeah, I was going to
For
say
$1.
that, and then I forgot to make the Patreon list.
Oh boy.
because I was sitting at the computer. Listen, today we did a whole bunch of stuff before the podcast that we don't normally do, and
Yeah.
it just
That
took
you
me out
don't
of my
normally do.
zone. Okay, I got it. Oh, I'm
Wake
sorry.
up,
You
go
go
out.
to IHOP every Saturday?
No, but I get up and get things accomplished before the podcast for hours.
Wait a minute. You went to
Well,
IHOP?
good for you. Yeah, we went to IHOP.
Man, we could have done that afterwards for somebody's birthday.
You
dinner.
told me you were not around after today's podcast.
I don't know what I said.
Yeah, and you know
because
what?
I was trying to make
and I
it work.
even told
I
him.
know, because I was like, Nicky Hill's going to be there. Maybe, just maybe, Nicky Hill and I can go to Burger King and get one of those or purple bunned Whoppers.
I didn't know they had that.
And,
How
Oh.
could they have
and now Nicky
Now
Hill-
you guys can.
How could they have
Well,
a
no,
purple
because you
bun-
said Nicky Hill's not going to be around. So then I
You
told
two can go.
Purple is
I
Oh.
already
Thing.
told my wife that I have to come straight home after the
right,
podcast
well, then I'll
now.
go
So
home.
no
That's fine.
purple
You
Whopper
told
for
us.
me.
You told us.
I think it was up in the air still because I have a dog to
Well,
take care
now
of.
it's not up in the air. Now it's down to
It's
earth. You
locked
got to
in.
go.
Yeah.
It's funny because Mom Brain and I talked
Down
about
in
this, and I was like,
dumps.
every time Nicky Hill says he can or he can't, it's almost always the opposite
I
of
don't
what
remember.
happens.
I don't remember whatever I said.
I know you don't. So, well, anyway, besides the point.
And then
How
I
was
went to Burger
IHOP? What'd you
King,
get?
And they said they didn't have any more purple buns Whoppers. And I said if they'd ever be back, and they said they
Oh,
didn't
if you
know.
wait long enough, they'll all be purple. You know what I got. Come on.
Krabby Patties?
No. You don't answer. You were there. And also,
Mhm.
that's wrong.
Yeah, Krabby Patties is
Chocolate chip
Wendy's.
pancakes?
No.
Pancakes.
Yes. International pancakes.
I don't know.
I
Um,
got their monthly pancakes. You know what they are?
No.
They are, this month is Reese's Pieces
too much chocolate.
Reese
IHOP.
Piece.
It's peanut butter sauce, chocolate sauce, and actual Reese's Pieces baked into the pancake.
Ooh.
And they were phenomenal.
I had a Wendy's Krabby Patty last
I did
week.
that too, yeah.
That was decent.
I've heard
Did you hear the
as
the
far as a
creator is
burger-
very, like,
he's dead.
He's dead, but he would be it's going against his wishes.
I mean,
Aw.
yes, he didn't want it.
He
I
never
mean,
wanted to
long
have
story
this sort
short,
of
yes, but he did
thing.
those things also while he was there. But I guess like he, if you're the guy that created it, you got the say on like, I'm
You
okay
know-
with this, I'm not okay with
You know
this.
what the ultimate crossover would be for SpongeBob SquarePants? Scrub Daddy. A square Scrub Daddy.
Nickelodeon is like dying to get that done, but that just hasn't happened yet. Because there's Scrub Mommy and there's Scrub, I think there's Scrub Uncle and like all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff. Look it up. Oh, all right. Patreon, Mom Brain, did you know that you could join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1?
For $1.
If you did, here's what or if you didn't, here's what you missed out on this week. But you can join for $1 and go read it all.
Wait. Aren't Scrubs like negative? Like that was like the
I
TLC
don't want no
song.
Scrubs.
So why are we selling Scrub Uncles and Scrub Daddies and Scrub Mommies? What the heck?
What do you mean? Why? People have decided when it comes to sponges, scrubbing is good.
Okay.
It's a
I'll
verb, not
accept
a
it.
noun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I
Um,
guess an adjective.
I wrote about Party House, which is one of the games in UFO 50. I had only jumped into Party House very quickly when I was playing UFO 50. And I was like, this looks a little too complicated for right now. And I'm just perusing the game, so I'll get back to it later. But Austin, when he was here last week, he was just skimming through UFO 50 and he saw Party House and he jumped in on it. And he played that game the most by far. And it was a lot of fun to watch somebody play. I guess I'll save it for later in the show. I didn't actually play it, but I was there with him every step of the way and we learned about it together. So it was a lot of fun. So I'll talk about it later. I also wrote about Metaphor Refantazio, the new game that's on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. I don't know if it's on PS4 or whatever. It's Atlas's new RPG. It is their fastest selling game ever. And there is a demo available right now. It is an RPG that's extra long. So the demo is very sizable. You can get like 4-6 hours out of the demo. So I'm playing the demo and I'll share my thoughts on the demo later today. But I wrote about how in the game, there is an explanation for why you hear music when you're playing. Like there's a spell, the game has a bunch of magic and everything, and there's a spell in the game that gets cast on you, and the spell lets you hear music in your head, and that's how they explain the music in the game world. And I'm like, I don't know if it needed explaining, but I can't think of any other game that has done something exactly like this, where it's like, and here's why you can hear music in the game. It's a magical spell. And I was like, I wonder what
It's GTA, right?
radio station.
Oh,
I don't know if there's more about it later in the game, if I haven't just heard it yet. That my the topic might come up later. But I was like, that's a really interesting thing that they felt the need or the interest to do that. But maybe I'll find out more about it as I get into the full game.
wait, does Grand Theft Auto have a soundtrack outside of the do they have
Cars,
a score?
there's like an original score, but you don't usually. It's saved for like very specific cutscenes and
Cutscenes
stuff.
and
It's not when you're like out running around punching people in the back of the head. But yeah, when you're in cars, you hear licensed music and radio DJs and whatever. I also wrote about Super Mario Party Jamboree, which is available right now. It is I don't know the actual numbers, but I know it's a really, really, really well-reviewed Mario Party game. And a lot of outlets think it's the best Mario Party we've seen in a very long time. I would agree. I said that when Nicky Hill and I got to play the hands-on demo at the Nintendo event. But I also played it last night, which I'll talk about later, and I still feel the same way. It is a blast. It's a really good Mario Party game.
I think I remember the first game that we played at that event. I was like, I don't know if I'm liking this Mario Party game.
I know where this is going.
And then by the end, I was like, I think I'm really loving this Mario
Yep.
Party Jamboree.
It was family that played last night, and I got great stories about it. But
Online or here, local?
online.
Oh my gosh, what a world we're living in, huh?
Who is the first person I asked to play?
I'm not making a
bet I
comment. Me,
know.
probably.
You, yeah. And you were like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep the code. I don't know. I don't really play games. I don't know about
Well,
online. I was
it's
like,
hard
"Oh."
to play with you guys because it's late. But I haven't been playing normal games.
I went right to you. You were my number one.
I went to you,
You-
actually. If you want to get,
What do you mean? Oh, to ask me about.
I'm the one that brought it up to you.
Yeah.
I started the conversation.
Well, I wouldn't have asked you because I was like, he's not going to play. But since you had it, I was like, maybe he will.
No, I mean, I would like to. I've got some other people I would like to play with
Oh, okay.
locally.
Well, I have it, and if you want to play, I'll play. But
I've got a lot of other games that we've downloaded to play together and haven't played them.
oh my god, I'm just not going to ask
it's
anymore.
not shade.
Just not
I'm
going to
not-
ask
it's
anymore.
fresh.
Nicky Hill's
It's
being
just a
true.
fact.
I believe you, Nicky Hill.
That's how you know you're wrong.
No, like I'm not trying to be fresh.
Well, if you play it, if
The
you
reality
decide
is it's hard to get together sometimes, especially when you're just falling
Online.
asleep all the time.
online, we can play online.
In my dreams.
Anyway, I wrote about the reviews for the game because there are so many reviews saying how great this is. And then there were, there are two reviews, I'm not saying where they're from, that were very low. And I was like, review opinions are subjective or objective or whatever. Nobody's wrong unless there's something factually wrong about a review. But the two reviews that were very negative, I was like, man, how do they have, what happened that they have such a low opinion of this game compared to all the other outlets? And before Lube says anything, they weren't Nintendo outlets specifically. There were some in there, but it's just regular outlets, IGN. And I think IGN gave it a 9, by the way. But anyway, I was like, man, I talked a bit about that because I'm like, did they rush through these games? Were they playing Mario Party for review by themselves? Because if you're playing a Mario Party game by yourself, probably not going to have the best time. I'm sure you can have fun, but you don't.
Maybe it was somebody who doesn't normally play those games,
Yeah.
and their boss was like, "You're going to review this game today," and they're like, "I don't normally do that." And they're like, "You're going to do it. You're going to like it." And
And
it's like, "Well, I'll do it." but
One
I
of the
won't like
reviews
it."
was like, "There's too much chance in this game," and I was like, "Have you ever played a Mario Party game?"
Yeah,
And then on
it's-
top of that, this Mario Party has a pro mode that eliminates as much chance as possible. So it takes away the special bonus stars at the end of the game, and it takes away other elements of chance to give you the most pure Mario Party skill-based experience you can get. I was like, did they not know that mode was in there? Did they not play that mode? I don't know. So again, we see reviews all the time that there might be a couple that are way different from everybody else's. But just this in particular, I was like, what's going on here? I don't know. I wrote about Invincible because we got a surprise trailer for the third season. The second season ended in April, and we had to wait years to get that second season.
Both the second half of the second season, right?
What? What about it?
Is that because I remember it?
There was
first
4
half of
episodes, a 3-month break or a 4-month break,
Oh.
and then 4 more episodes.
I'm totally out of the loop. I didn't watch them.
You didn't watch the second half?
I was waiting for the second half of the second season to drop before I watched all of
You
it.
wanted to do it
It's
all at
out.
I didn't know
once,
it
right?
came out.
It came out in April. It was done. So it's been out for a while. So they're out now.
Yeah, I haven't
Um,
started it yet. I still want to start it.
So good.
I know.
So the wait from the first to the second season was very long. You know, COVID happened, a whole bunch of other things caused issues. And then this season ended, and it was frustrating to wait this long for the second season to do 4 episodes, and then there was a 3+ month break in between, and then the other 4 episodes, and then it was over. And I was like, I'm gonna wait like another 3 or 4 years to get the next season. But thankfully, that's not the case. They put out a trailer, and they're like, "Hey guys, guess what? Invincible's coming back February, and there's no mid-season break this time. It's just all season 3."
So, quick question. Them breaking up the second season because it was too intense. Do you agree now that you watched the rest of the second season, or could they put it all
No.
at the same time?
There's no such show that's so intense that it needs a break in the middle.
Okay.
I will never
such
ever believe that unless they're like it's too intense for the people working on it and they need more time to finish it. Then I'm like, yeah, I get it. But if you're
Puts
like,
an enormous
this
strain
story's
on the
way
artist's
too
list.
crazy, you need a little break in between. No, you don't. Also, you're telling me this break just so happens in the amount of time where Amazon, it's like, oh, by the way, we used to do no ads. There's ads now, and they come back right when Invincible comes back. Is that crazy timing on that one? So no, I don't believe that. But I'm just happy the new season is coming out so soon. I wasn't expecting to watch the next season in February. I thought it was going to be years and years, but February it's coming out. So very excited. And the trailer that they put out is great because it's all tongue in cheek, and they did a similar one for season 2 when everybody was waiting for it. That was just like Mark at the burger joint with, I forget who he's with, the alien guy, I think, and they're talking to each other and they're making like inside jokes about how long the season was taking, blah blah blah. And they do something similar for this, but they address everything that people complained about with the second season, like the mid-season break and why are we still waiting and why does it take so long, blah blah blah. So really great trailer. Doesn't show story content. It's just an announcement of, hey, the show's coming out sooner than you thought, and then we'll see a story trailer sometime in between now and then. I wrote about the best gaming gift you've ever gotten. Do any of you have a gaming gift that you remember that really stuck out to you? Not necessarily the gift itself, although that can be the case, but maybe how you got it or when you got it or who gave it to you or anything like that.
I remember getting a Game Boy for my birthday and games for it and being like really excited. Like I remember where
Did you
I
ask for
was.
it?
Yeah.
Are we talking about like Nintendo 64 kid excited?
Talking to you.
No, I don't think I was like that excited
I've only
But
seen you
I-
Nintendo 64 kid excited one time in my life.
when Jeff won.
When Jeff Hardy won, yes, and we were there live. Yep, that was it.
Yeah.
Anything from you guys? Any?
Not really. I don't think so.
I wrote about when I was a kid. I guess I was 9. Valentine's Day rolled around, and my parents used to give us a little Valentine's bag that had like a small box of Gertrude Hawk chocolate or whatever, and maybe a card, and that was it. And they gave me that year the box of chocolate, a card, and then there was a box in there, and I was like, "What's this box?" I was like, "This is like the size of a Game Boy box," and I unwrapped it, and it was Battletoads for the Game Boy. I don't know how they knew I wanted that because I don't remember ever asking for it or even saying anything about it. But they figured it out, and I was like, "Well, it's Valentine's Day. Why'd you get a gift for me on Valentine's Day?" And they're like, "'Cause you're a good son." Blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Never got another one after that, so I guess I was a bad son. But that'll always stick with me. And while I was writing this, I was like, I never asked my parents, like all these years later, what the impetus behind that was. Maybe they got a story to tell me now.
I knew that you liked
Son.
Battletoads.
Well, yeah, but I'd never gotten a video game for Valentine's Day. That's a big
Maybe
deal.
they wanted to try it out, try a new.
Or maybe it was on sale.
They wanted to start a new trend, and when you opened it, you were like, "Why'd you get me this?" And then they were like, "Well, we won't do it ever."
I didn't. No, I remember it vividly. I didn't say why. I was just like shocked. I remember saying like, "But it's Valentine's Day." I really remember saying that. And then they probably bought it because they wanted me to
probably
leave
just
them alone.
wanted a hug from you for like the first
deal.
time ever, and
No
it
deal.
didn't happen. So they were
No
like, "Well,
deal.
we're not going to
Not going to happen.
bribe them for hugs anymore."
And the last thing I wrote about this week, I'm not going to read because I'll talk about it later. So there's your Patreon. Join in for $1 and you can read those and more.
For $1.
For
For
$1.
Where?
And now, patreon.com/GoNintendo. And now let's do news, Mom Brain. We got news. It's a Nintendo show. We got to do news here. Thank you. Finally, not too many top stories this week, but we do have some interesting ones. There was, as far
Although
as
we have Lube here, so maybe he's got the
You never
scoop on something.
that's right. Well, maybe the Verge will come up with something. I don't know any other instance, so I'm going to say, as far as we know, this is the biggest hack in Game Freak / Pokemon
You
history.
better fact check or you'll get an email.
Game Freak got hacked and they lost gigs and gigs and gigs of information, not player information, but like all behind the scenes stuff of games they worked on decades ago all the way up to now. So like cut content from games and discussions about the anime and the movies and potential new movies and projects in the works right now that are coming to Switch and other things. Like it's been like the worst of the worst situation. Game Freak did acknowledge it and say, yep, we were hacked. Stuff got leaked. They said they apologize for the great inconvenience and concern this has caused to all those involved.
Including the cybersecurity employees who have lost their job.
They said it
I'm
happened
kidding.
in August.
I don't know if anyone was fired.
But it just hit the internet now. The Information Act was hacked and stolen, got out there. They said they've rebuilt and reinspected the server. And they strive to prevent reoccurrence by further strengthening their security measures. So obviously, Game Freak not happy. Pokemon Company probably very unhappy. Nintendo very unhappy. But it is what it is. As this was a hack, stolen information. We do not, as a policy of GoNintendo, share that information. We share the news of the hack and that it happened, but we do not give you the details of what was in there. So you're not going to find them
Could you recommend the site that would?
yeah, Reddit.
Have they checked
Every
with
other
the,
site on the internet.
Just so I can stay away from those sites.
Yes.
Have they checked with the children of employees at the?
Their uncle that works for Game Freak.
Yeah, I don't know any other details right now, but
My guess, if I had to guess, which I don't have to, but I'm going to, would be it was probably Mewtwo.
Oh, I almost just said something that was in the leak. Maybe it was Mewtwo.
Probably.
I
I know nothing about Mewtwo outside of
What the hell is Mewtwo saying? Smash, Lube.
Super Smash My Butthole.
There you go. That's exactly what I was going to say.
You got it. Martin Stuff says, as much as I'm curious about seeing Pokemon that never saw the light of day, I can't say I'm a huge fan of leaking info about future game projects or internal discussions at Game Freak. I really hope none of these projects get canceled or changed as a result of this. Well, they probably will, some of them in some way. I'm also definitely not a huge fan of leaking personal details of Game Freak staff, past and present, at the risk of doxing. Martin Stuff, I agree. If things, get accidentally leaked or whatever, it is what it is. That's the nature of the beast. But a hack, like a malicious hack, it's a different story, which is why we don't post that stuff. And trust me, I hear from people all the time saying, why don't you share it? Well, go somewhere else if you want it. Moving on to a rumor sourced from public information. So this one's good. So what do we know? This coming week, Nintendo has their whatever it is that playtest program that they're going to do for Switch Online expansion.
Online.
Online, George.
online?
Online,
Oh,
George. I'm so sorry.
sorry.
My
Nintendo.
Nintendo Switch Online playtest program. That is happening on October 15th. 3 lucky Patreon people are in on that. So again, congrats to them. But we don't know what this is testing, but there's been all kinds of speculation as to what it is. And Nintendo again said, like, if you're part of this test, don't say anything about it. But of course, it's gonna happen right away.
I guess some cement shoes.
Yeah, and it's definitely gonna happen. But people have been throwing out all kinds of ideas about what it is. They're like, it's gonna be a streaming service. It's gonna be, I don't know, whatever. But some people have been like, they're gonna test GameCube games for Switch Online. Well, that's where this story comes in. So randomly random 67 is a user on the Family boards, and he, because Nintendo fans are absolutely insane, and I mean it in the best way possible, he's been tracking various component shipments that have been shipped throughout docks and other places throughout the world that are tied to Nintendo. And you know, you can see all that.
That's crazy.
You can see all that
What?
information publicly. You
What?
just I know. It's Nintendo fans that really, really, really want to know.
To do, yeah, whatever.
And he has found that Nintendo is shipping some parts related to the GameCube controller. So these are pieces and parts that were in the GameCube controller, specifically the GameCube controller that they re-released
the C button
for the Wii U, and then on the Switch as well, for Smash Brothers and whatever else you want to use it on, whatever else it works with. So why now would they be shipping more components that are related to a GameCube controller? It would make you think that perhaps they're going to do a fresh printing of the GameCube controller. Why now
Fresh print of Bel-Air.
would they make new GameCube controllers? Well, if you were going to put GameCube games on Switch Online, that would be the perfect time, because as you remember, with the NES games on Switch Online, they put out an NES controller for the Switch. And they did the same for the Super Nintendo. And they did the same for the Genesis and so on. Blah, 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 blah. So if they're printing or making or manufacturing more GameCube controllers, which again, there are pieces in this that are related to the GameCube controller, you would think something GameCube is coming up. So maybe those rumors of GameCube games coming to Switch Online expansion pack are true. I don't know. Or maybe Smash Brothers players have just been so hard on their GameCube controllers and Nintendo's like, they need more.
My GameCube controllers, I mean, I still got them, but a couple of them are in real bad shape.
Mine too. I have a couple that are really rough, but I still have a couple of the new ones that are in their box still. So if a day comes where I'm like, I desperately need a new controller.
Wasn't there one a dog chewed on?
Yes, a friend's dog chewed up the joystick on it.
Dizzy?
And that was
Dizzy?
yes,
and you still use it. It sliced your thumb up.
And that is my original GameCube controller. So I still have it, and it still works perfectly fine. But yes, the joystick is the top of the joystick is literally just like a jagged piece of plastic. It's dog bit through it.
A dog that was completely deranged.
There are rumors of Miiverse 2 as well, Kurt Dog. People are like, bring back Miiverse. It's going to be Miiverse. Who knows? Oh, Kurt Dog, perfect gift. Yes, Nikki?
No, that could help me though, because my thumbsticks, like on the Joy, what the heck am I trying to say? The Pro controller and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm like really getting intense and like my hands get sweaty or something, my thumbs slide and I can't just like.
Oh, so you need them roughed up by a dog.
Might
they make little covers you can put on them for grip and stability. If you
but I'd rather just like damage the device.
Okay. Well, then you're on your way. Ice Dilbert, that's what we all want. We want Capcom and Nintendo to team up once again to make that GameCube Resident Evil 4 controller. So, Ram goes Woomy X86DBG. I'm seeing a whole bunch of people typing, and it's names I've never seen before, which makes me nervous. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But what we know for a fact is Nintendo is shipping out GameCube controller pieces and parts. What are they doing with them? We don't know for sure, but we'll find out together.
Look at the placement of some of those buttons on that Resident Evil thing, huh?
It's probably not. Hi, Blood Ocean. It still upsets me that this doesn't do anything but looks awesome. Yeah. Talking about the GameCube, the chainsaw controller.
It looks like you control it like that gorilla or orangutan in the zoo. Like you control it just by like some of these buttons. You just like kind of flick your finger up the tap.
That the handle makes it think of like a 64 controller almost. With that prong sticking out.
I know people who still use that controller. It cannot be the most comfortable controller.
People personally that use this?
I mean, I don't mean online. It's not like people I see in person often, but yes, I know people who use.
Let's get them on the podcast. We got questions.
Kyle says they're testing Switch 2, calling it maybe. I could put out the call if you want somebody who's got the GameCube controller or the chainsaw controller.
I can't imagine they're testing. They're
testing Switch 2. No, not through Switch. Oh, well, with Switch Online, whatever they're going to test, I would imagine will be part of Switch 2 or Switch's success or whatever they call it. Yes, it'll go over.
But they wouldn't just be like, "Hey, random people of the world, come and try the Switch 2, but don't tell anybody."
Well, no, again, we know this is related. You have to be a Switch Online expansion pack member to get in on this program. So that's the test is related to that in some way. So, Ice Dilbert says that controller does actually work, but it's terrible to hold. Yeah, I would imagine. Also talking about Switch Online, Nintendo's recognized that we are now 3 years deep on the Switch Online expansion pack. Not just Switch Online. Expansion pack was the expansion that got you N64 games and GBA games and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe content, Animal Crossing content, Sega Genesis stuff, blah, 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 blah. Nintendo sent out an email celebrating 3 years of Switch Online expansion pack, and it also includes this. What excitement will the next year bring for Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack members? Stay tuned to find out. So, at the very least, we know there's going to be more content coming to the expansion pack in 2025. We just don't know what.
Oh, that's why he's been typing for so
BlueSky
long.
knower of
Oh my
things.
gosh.
Oh,
He's been typing for like 20 minutes.
I saw him typing and I was so
Or
nervous. I was like, what? I'm sorry. Them.
Oh
I
my
saw them
God.
typing and I got
Oh
really
my
nervous. I
God.
was like, what are they typing here? I thought it was going to be horrible.
Crashed my phone.
Well, here, this is the problem with you two. You two are like, what is Blue Sky? I don't know. And I know both of you really don't give a crap.
Well,
but now somebody, hold on.
I
No,
give
I
a
would-
little
I would love
crap.
to read
somebody
this.
took
I
the
do
time to
care
write all
enough.
that out and
Thank
you got your
you.
answer.
Thank you. Now I'm going to spend 20 minutes reading this and not paying attention. To
And
all
then
the cowboy.
when I bring something up and you say I talked about that a million times, then I'll be like, well, I've been reading this.
Did he not sound like Grover a little bit there?
Maybe a little.
A little bit of Grover. Thank you, Ram. We appreciate it.
I'm gonna make it through the podcast.
What's wrong with you?
I'm fading too. I'm getting real tired.
Eat a cookie. What's wrong?
I feel so gross.
If you gotta go lay down,
Oh, you're cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, do whatever you
Super
want. If you gotta go,
cool.
you gotta go.
I'm sorry. I feel bad.
I heard.
do you want to take the microphone into the other room and lay down?
Maybe I had to take it upstairs into bed.
So are you leaving for sure?
I think I am.
Wow. Any
Do
last
you mean to do that?
Yeah. Any last words?
I love you. I see you all,
Do you
and I'm
think-
sorry.
Do you think you think it's time to go take a nap? My body is ready. Yeah.
Wait, Nicky Hill, I'm sorry I didn't hear
Do
you.
you think you might need to take a nap right now?
My body is ready.
To take a nap.
Reggie, her
Okay.
favorite person. Are plans off for tonight then?
No.
I don't.
No.
I'll check in later.
I need a little more rest. I need to be laying
Radical
down.
Defect says, "Hope you feel better,
Well,
Mommy."
and also for the record,
You're gonna hang out in the disc. Oh, this is bulldonk. You're going upstairs to play home
that's not true.
gardenscapes or whatever
That's
it
not
is.
true. I mean, I will, but I was playing that here.
Homescapes?
Both.
Oh,
Remember?
that's right.
Also, I didn't sleep last night because I was coughing. And
Sure.
for the record, Rami did bring me a seltzer
Thank you.
when I was coughing in the middle of the night.
That's true.
What?
I am the best boyfriend.
Alka-Seltzer?
No. Hi, Steel Diver. Good to
That's
see you.
why you're still
So when
sick.
I was
She
a-
was coughing, and I was like, "Should I make her a tea? Should I get her tea with honey? Should I just get her a seltzer?" I was like, "I think I'll just do seltzer. I don't know." And I went up to go see, which is like, you never do that. When Mom Brain's upstairs, like that's it. She's gone for the night. You don't interact with her. But she was struggling, so I went up to check, and she took my hand like an old Victorian woman with the plague, like thank you so much for coming to see me. I was like, yeah, I heard you coughing. So yeah, she had a rough night. But
When I
also, I
was-
do want to point out, I went to bed after her, and I got up at roughly the same time.
when
So-
I was a little
and here
kid,
I am.
I had pneumonia a few times and just avoided hospitalization, like it was real bad. And so the doctor would give my mother like codeine cough syrup. And so like
Cough syrup.
my mother showing up in the middle of the night with that stuff was like clutch because
Mhm.
it would knock me out immediately. I wish I still had that.
Would you? Hi, highly unlikely. If I didn't say hi. Oh, highly unlikely says my wife and I are sick right now as well, so we understand, Mom Brain. Hi, SD. Feel free to hang out in the Discord while you're up there. By the way, could you plug in the fan in my office and point it in here?
Sure.
I knew we were forgetting something.
Sure.
Hi, afternoons. Boy, Austin was here last week and brought in some you people. I'm sorry, it's a terrible show this week, but we're here. Feel better.
So
Feel
sorry,
better.
I show
Mom
up
Brain.
and it's a terrible show.
I didn't mean it like that.
Unbelievable.
I didn't mean it like that.
I think I need to get
SD
the
says
soundboard.
RMC. He's doing a little skit
Oh my
here.
God,
This
it's
is me.
Piper.
RMC, I heard you coughing. Mom Brain. Thank you for coming up. RMC, can you please knock it off? I'm trying to concentrate. That is usually how it goes, but I'm joking when I say that to her.
So I read all this stuff that
And I still don't get it.
whatever he wrote, man, it's awesome. He
Yeah.
wrote a lot of stuff. It's very
Go
knowledgeable, but man, I don't understand.
go to
half
Wiki
the
for
stuff
Blue
he's
Sky.
talking about.
You're a Wiki rabbit hole person.
Sometimes this stuff, man, I don't get it. I'm too old. I don't understand this.
Oh,
stuff.
see,
But I
there's-
don't use any of it either. I'm not a user.
Just
so, I mean,
because you
that's
don't
why-
use it doesn't mean you can't know about it.
Oh, I do know about it. I know what it is. You just told me.
You know so much about things that happened in the past that we don't use anymore, like muskets and
yeah, exactly.
cannons
If
and
you guys want to learn about German influence in,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Africa pre-World War I can tell you all about
all the
that.
stuff we still use. Moving on, Bandai Namco is cutting their workforce and canceling projects, and that includes a Nintendo title. Thanks, MomSickBrain. That seems like a level 1. This is a rumor right now. Bandai Namco hasn't commented directly on what they've done, but they did share a statement with Bloomberg, and it says this, quote, "Our decisions to discontinue games are based on comprehensive assessments of the situation. Some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they are assigned their next project, but we do move forward with assignments as new projects emerge. There's no organization like a, quote, Oidashi Beya, end quote, at Bandai Namco Studios designed to pressure people to leave internally." That thing that I said, it's this thing in Japan where companies do this. They're like, no, we're fine. Like everything's fine. Also, by the way, your new job is to go sit in this room and there's nothing in there and you just sit there all day because they want the people to leave so then they don't get any severance or anything. Like they want the employee to be like, I'm done here. And they're like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah,
But
like,
Bandai Namco saying we're not doing it.
would they get in trouble if they just brought in like a gaming system and just took
Is this in
use
Japan
their
you're
time the
talking
best?
about?
Yes.
To their
But
best?
see, I read that it is very taboo to like quit your job in Japan.
That is also a thing. Yes, that is very true.
So, but they're trying to like make people quit their job by just making.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, if somebody's going to pay me to sit in a room and do nothing all day, I could do that. I could, unless somebody like,
yeah, for like a day or two.
if I got my
maybe.
phone, I'm fine.
Well,
You can
yeah.
play games, you can watch stuff, you could talk to people. You got so much stuff you can do.
I don't
No
know.
phone, very difficult.
Yeah.
I could take naps, but that's not. They'll probably have somebody check in every hour and be like, "Wake up in here," or something like
Yes, I
that.
mean,
But anyway, it seems like something's going on at Bandai Namco, and it includes a canceled Nintendo project. We heard a while ago that they were working on something with Nintendo related to the Switch's successor. Whether that's what that is remains to be seen. Whether the project actually gets released, we also will probably never know, because if it does, Nintendo will work with another partner or do it themselves. I honestly don't know what'll happen, but we'll find out together. Ninjinister says their latest release sold 3 million copies in 24 hours. Yeah, I guess not. Just not good enough. Just not good enough. That's where the industry is nowadays, because game companies, publishers are like, we got to make this giant game, and it's made by 300 people, and it costs $400 million to make it. We got to sell 20 million copies in the first
Yeah.
month, or we're sunk. It's ridiculous. Oh no, this is all me now. Everything's going to be wrong, guys. I apologize. What do I do? Oh, okay. It's time for the North American Switch eShop releases. Let me tell you. Here's what we got in North America. Oh, you want to do that thing that Austin suggested last week where I make up a name in here and you guess which one? Like, I'll
Sure,
go
but
through.
can I
All
read
right,
the
so
list as you go?
the idea is
Yeah.
do not read the list. No, I'm going to read the list of games.
okay.
And Austin last week was like, do you think you could just make up a game name and read it in there and nobody would ever know that that's not a real game?
God, no way.
So when you hear,
those wacky names that sometimes we don't read
for you
there?
guys,
Yeah.
when you hear the game you
Okay.
think is a fake game, you say so.
Okay.
Pressure's on me because I haven't thought of any game. I haven't pre-gamed this. I don't know.
Tablecloth folding challenge 3. There you go.
Trying to think of something now.
I
to
mean, if
think-
it's the third one, obviously it's got to be true because there was 2 others, right?
I thought of going that route, and yeah, I was afraid that wasn't going to be good enough. I'm trying to think of a. Man, it's going to be tougher than I thought. Maybe I'm just gonna. You know what? Maybe I won't even do one. I'll see if something strikes
just-
me.
Yeah, I
do
mean,
it
we've heard
In the
things like
future,
horse
you can plan
blunders,
it
hold
when you
me
plan it.
tightly.
You
You,
don't-
know, like there's so many weird names.
All right, here's what came out this week: Arsene Lupin, Once a Thief, Blazing Strike, Fantasy Friends, Dream Worlds, Hot Wheels Monster Trucks, Stunt Mayhem, Just Dance 2025 edition. Potionomics Masterworks edition. Since Memories Off the Starry Skies. Super Mario Party Jamboree. I was waiting for one of you to be like, that's the face. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutants Unleashed. Tintin Reporter Cigars of the Pharaoh.
sorry,
See,
Mutants
like-
Perfect
Unleashed.
example. Huh?
What is that one? The Mutants Unleashed.
What is it? What am I supposed to say then? It's the new Ninja Turtles game.
Is
It's
this like
based
the third Ninja Turtles game to come out, or second?
on Switch?
We had Shredder's Revenge. We had the other one that was the isometric Hades style one, and
Yeah.
now this one. Like in less
So you
than a
mean in
year,
less than a year.
we've
yes.
gotten three
Well,
brand new.
That's
They're
correct.
taking.
to be fair,
They're taking the gaming world by
To
storm.
be fair, Splintered Fate or Shattered Fate, Splintered Fate, Splintered Fate.
Gotta be Splinter.
That's been out a lot longer.
Shredder.
It was on
It was on-
Apple.
and it just got ported.
Got a
and
console
released.
port, yeah.
So
2022.
it's not like that just came out.
But
But I understand your point.
this one is based off of the
The movie.
movie, yes, and the TV show, which
Good
I
for
still
those
haven't watched, but I've
turtles.
heard is great.
Eventually, they're gonna have to grow up, though.
they have comics where they're grown up.
Okay, I want a movie then, or a game.
Weren't they? Were they teenagers in the Michael Bay one? I haven't seen it. They don't look like they're teenagers.
There's still Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, I don't know.
No.
I
You can't make this request and say I don't know. It's a cut and dry. Where are they teenagers in that movie?
By the title alone, I would say yes.
So you
but
haven't seen it?
I watched the first one, but they weren't talking about puberty.
What's going on here? Were they teenagers or not?
They don't. I don't remember them mentioning. it.
Unprepared.
Senator, I like beer. I drink beer. Do they talk about being teenagers in the movie?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
So because they look like adults in that.
Did they
movie to
ever
me.
talk about it in the first one,
What's the first one?
or the 1980 whatever one?
I want to say they reference like being kids at points. Yes.
When they were fighting the foot, or they were
Yeah,
fighting
'cause all
Shredder,
the
and Shredder was
fights
going to
are
kill him, and he's like,
kids.
"Whoa! You're not going to." Donatello's like, "You're not going to punch a kid with glasses, would you?"
Solid Master Link says, I think in a montage. I don't know if he's talking about the Michael Bay or the original, because now we've talked about both. That's right, Kurt Dog. It's a new Ninja Turtles game. It's based. Yes, it's based on the movie and the show. Michael Bay, he's talking about. All right, so in the montage, they mentioned that they are teenagers in that movie. So puberty was very
We
rough.
don't.
on
I
them.
mean, how are we supposed to know how Mutant Ninja Turtles age? You know,
You watched the movie. You're the expert. Wildermyth Console Edition. Airy Midnight Hour. Alchemist The Potion Monger. Amelia's Garden. Arcade Archives Moon Shuttle. Arcade Archives Power Spikes. Astelabrug.
Hasta
Gaiden
luego.
The Cave of Phantom Mist. Atari Recharged Volume 1 and Volume 2. Beyond Border. Blind The Unseen Truth. Captain Barrel.
Say art
Fake.
Castlevania Collections Bundle. Contra and Castlevania Bundle. Dungeons 4 Switch Edition. The Egg Console version of the MSX2 version of Undead Line. Eternites, which we have a review for right now. Farmer Survivors. Fear the Spotlight. Findo Lantern. Football League Cup Arcade Soccer Simulator. Froggo Deluxe. Fruit Party Suika Castle Puzzle. I wonder if they're trying to copy a few games there. Garage Mechanics Simulator 3D. Hatch Tales, a heroic hookshot adventure. That's right, Hatch Tales is finally coming out October 22nd. I Love Finding Wild Friends. Collector's Edition. Idle Command Supply Frontline. It Could Happen to You. Killing Time Resurrected. Kingsgrave. Little Legs. Man, I wish that was the made-up one. Little Legs is really funny. Line, but it's Lyne. Mall Manager.
got Lyme disease.
Gas Station Manager. Metroland. Moorhun Jump and Run Traps and Treasures 3.
Sorry, gas station manager
Yes,
in the middle of the M's. That's a fake.
you got it. I was going for it. Are you reading the list?
No,
Okay, just
I'm on.
making sure.
I'm on,
I was like,
European.
I wonder if I slip in unalphabetical order if it'll get picked up. And I thought I got away with it, but I did not. Recollect. Retro Realms Arcade.
But just so everybody knows, gas station manager is coming out next week.
There's Gas Station Simulator. That's a
Oh.
real game. Rookie Boxing, Simply Cubic, Speedo Llama, Stick Combat, Fighting Platformer, Storm Edge, Supermarket Grocery Simulator, Super XYX, The Case of Golden Idol Complete Edition, The Harmony Chronicles Chaos Realm Collector's Edition, The Seed Unit 7, Thronefall, While We Wait Here, and Inglet. There are your North American releases. Now, Josh, I know I'm not usually the one who works with you on this, but can you introduce Nicky Hill's segment?
Sure, whatever. I don't want to be here.
Yeah. Neither did Mom Brain.
Apparently not.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Josh.
Music's on me.
It's my pleasure to be here to fill in for Annie Austin, reading the European Switch eShop releases for the week of October 17th, the year of our Lord 2024. We are like halfway through this month.
I know, crazy, right?
The days and weeks are flying by, folks. Let's
All the
talk about
Christmas stuff
these
is already out in stores.
releases.
Mhm.
These are the releases from, I guess, last week, right?
Sure.
It was a week behind, I guess. 9, R.I.P. or RIP. Arsene Lupin. Arsene Lupin, Once a Thief.
Always a thief.
That's probably going to be the sequel.
Made up game.
Blazing Strike. RPG Maker with...
Yeah, I know that's the name. I don't know why it's called that. But you make it's an RPG builder. Like you make your own RPG.
Super Mario Party Jamboree.
The party is on.
That's the fake
and
one.
popping.
No, never mind, I'm kidding. That's not the fake one. That's really coming out. Tintin Reporter, Cigars of the Pharaoh, Transformers Galactic Trials, 8-Bit Adventures 2, Airy Midnight Hour, Alchemist the Potion Monger, Alchemist Generations Bundle, Amelia's Garden, Astalibra? Yeah, sure. Astalibra Gaiden, right?
You're right.
Beyond Border, Blind, The Unseen Truth, Casual Sports Series, Hockey,
Oh, that
Mom
sounds
Brain.
right up your guys'
I hope you
alley.
can hear me.
Casual sports people.
Cats in Boxes, just came out last week, this past week, the year of our Lord. What?
I wasn't in the Discord. I don't know if she's in there or not.
She was in there to say she's sorry she left. City Bus Simulator, Core Keeper. You know, after you eat those apples and you throw away the core, this guy
I get it.
keeps them all. Keeps them all. Crow Country, Drova, Forsaken Kin, Dungeons 4, Nintendo Switch Edition, the Egg Console game, Undeadline, Eternights. Ooh, I want to see what this one's about. I think I have an idea. Fast Penguin.
Great news. It's free to play, so you can go try it out for free right now.
No additional cost.
That's right. Just got to buy a Switch.
Faith, the
And we have
Unholy
an internet
Trinity.
connection.
Farmer Survivors, which
That is true. It's digital only right
please
now,
tell me
so
Farmer Survivors is like Vampire Survivors, but just like you're battling farmers.
I will do the research on that.
Football League Cup, Arcade Soccer Simulator, Froggo Deluxe,
Oh.
Fruit
Okay.
Party, Suika Casual Puzzle. Man, giving Mario Party Jamboree a run for their money there.
It
huh?
looks Farmer Survivors looks quite similar. You are right.
Gym Business.
Is that a guy's name or
Yeah, is it Jim's business?
No, sorry,
or
Gaim
is-
Business.
Oh,
Fitness
Gaim.
Empire Simulator.
Welcome to Farmer Survivors, where you'll embark on an epic rural adventure defending your farm against hordes of hungry insects in this action-packed
Oh.
arcade survivor game.
That makes sense.
There you go.
Insects.
Oh, yeah,
The
you
plague.
spray some around up. Done.
Mhm.
Idle Command, Supply Frontline. I Love Finding Wild Friends, Collector's Edition.
Hell yeah.
Indian Princess, Dress Up. Little Legs, Line, spelled with a Y, Lyne. Don't want you to get confused when you're looking for it. Mall Manager, Metroland, Model Debut 3, hashtag Nicola, or Nicola. Morning Tide, spelled MOURNING, the sad one. My Big Sister, remastered.
She's back and better than ever.
Bigger
Never.
than ever.
Never.
Oh, that's right. Bigger than ever would make sense. Yes,
Nick-
never.
My big sister. I thought they were talking.
Nico
Hey.
Dorico, The Magical World, Pharaoh's Riches. Oh, wait.
Another
Oh my-
Pharaoh game?
Yeah, Cigars of the Pharaoh. Oh, the Pharaoh got rich by selling cigars.
Ah.
So if you want the backstory, go back to Tintin Reporter. But if you want to know where that leads
Sorry,
you,
everyone. I'm sorry.
yeah, sorry. Pop Slinger, Volume 2, Loveless. President Snow White. Nope.
Wow.
President Snow
Wow.
White.
President Snow White.
Fake.
She's got my vote.
Yeah, he's got you. He's got your fake.
Princess Snow White, The Enchanted Mirror. I don't know where President came from.
I just want to stress to everybody, nowhere else in this list does it say president anywhere. So
I don't know how that. What is Princess meant? Whatever. Let's not try to figure out.
no.
my brain.
What is President Snow White? That's the
No,
real
I'm
question.
trying to see like what Princess and Enchanted somehow something confused in my brain.
It's the elections coming
Oh
up.
my
just
gosh.
like,
That's right.
in the chat. Yeah.
Third
Recall
party
it.
finally got in there.
Recall it. Storm Edge. Sugoi Girls. Vivacious
It
Vampire.
means like awesome, real, wonderful.
Sugoi. Supermarket Grocery Simulator. Tales of the Arcade. Fart Mania.
Tales from the arcade.
Jeez Louise. Okay, how about this one? A copy.
Oh, I didn't write this
the
list.
the a copy or maybe escape.
Falls on my head. I didn't write it. It's got to be the escapee. Yeah.
Escape.
Lube,
The Legacy of Robin Hood.
a Robin Hood game. You love Robin Hood
Whoa,
games.
Based on the Kevin Costner movie?
For the purpose of this
Probably.
conversation, yes.
Wizard's Owl Magic Delivery, and last but not least, I don't think haven't done nothing about it. Yinglet.
There you go.
Comments? No comments.
Thank you, Nicky
Sad.
Hill.
No comments, please.
We made it. And that's it for top stories. Like I said, not a lot of top stories this week. All right, this is going to be quick. Nicky Hill, what'd you play this week?
Well,
Oh, maybe not quick.
I did something that I knew I shouldn't have done, and I've lost a lot of time to it. I downloaded Royal Match again for our
Mhm.
old time listeners, long time listeners. Yeah, there's some of those King's Nightmares that you see in the ads, but not the ones from the ads, but they do have them. So there've been some updates, and I'm gonna have to delete it soon again because I've had it for a week. I've played 400 levels. I have lost hours of sleep. Have a great night, everybody. Got to go play Royal Match. See you later.
Sad.
Oh, I also downloaded and started. Not downloaded. I bought it, and then I started playing it off of the game card. Well, Legend of Egos. Or no, Egos of Wisdom.
Egos of Wisdom. Oh, you did start playing it.
Lego
Yeah,
my
I played
Egos.
the same amount that I played during the demo that we had, except it was longer because they didn't
There.
jump me ahead.
Yes.
And that's as far as I got so far.
So you played what was done in the demo. Now will you play more?
I mean, in my for my purposes, I've beaten the game and I've now played it twice.
Man, that is funny that you got it, played through to
What
the
I've-
same part we did at the press event, and you literally have nothing to share because you've already talked about all that. So
Yeah.
it was just as I remember from a month and a
Yeah.
half ago.
Well, it was longer than I remember because I had to
It
play
was
the
longer.
whole thing.
Yes, it was longer. That's true. So you beat the boss again this time. Now we can talk
Yes.
about him.
Yes.
The spinny hand boss man. I don't remember what his name is. Typical Zelda fashion. Rolactos or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I Tornado Rock. Man.
Gyroctor.
And I still didn't do it the right way. I mean, even though there's no right and wrong way.
Did you
but,
beat
like,
the boss?
Yeah.
Then you did it the right way.
Yeah, but like they teach you a tool.
No,
to
no,
use.
no. We don't need any of that.
no.
You beat the boss.
Yeah.
You did it the right way.
I know.
The end.
But when I was
W is a
playing the
W.
demo, you were like, "Oh, looks like we're learning a mechanism here, and like I know I don't pick up on that stuff, and then I don't end up using it, and then I end up struggling.
I don't know why you have to do all this. It doesn't matter. You beat the
You
boss.
beat the boss.
I struggled.
And you beat it your way. You did it.
Like McDonald's, or no, sorry,
your
Burger King.
way.
Like I
McDonald's famous slogan: "Have it your way."
McDonald's
Burger King
famous
people
slogan.
are listening, and they're like, "What the hell?
Go check out
We
Burger
can't even
King.
get this thing. We're trying purple burgers, and this guy can't even remember our slogan." What is that sign that Mom Brain saw on TikTok? Oh, I'm gonna have to ask her. It was food related, and it was really funny. Kalactos, the robot boss from Ancient Cistern, Water Temple, and Skyward Sword. Yes, that's what I was basing my joke off of. 10th Division, because that's one of my favorite boss names, and I really like that boss. And the music in that boss fight is awesome. Nicky Hill.
So
That's it.
Nicky Hill, I
I'm gonna
heard
say yeah.
a rumor that you
Mom
were
Brain, what
playing
was that?
Fortnite.
What was that?
Is that
TikTok?
true?
Oh right,
They were laughing about it. It had 2 letters.
Were
on the
you
side.
I did. I
It was
played
really
a
funny.
round of Fortnite.
Were you just
Um,
playing it with?
He was just not gonna tell anybody.
Yeah. Did you do the Horde Rush mode? Or-
No, we
we were
played
going.
regular
We were
Fortnite.
going to
Ah.
try. He wanted to show me the Horde Rush mode, but you can't do Horde Rush in split screen. So we did a
Oh,
regular
okay.
battle royale,
Yeah,
and
okay.
we came out victorious.
That's good. Good for you, man. Now, did you have fun, or did the
Careful,
person
you
were
don't
playing
want to
with
get
have
into
fun?
this conversation.
I don't know.
Were
what
the
you're
person
talking
you're playing with had fun playing with you?
Yeah, I mean he was destroying noobs, and
You know who else would have fun playing with you?
yeah.
I'm not even. I'm not getting into it.
Would love it. I
I'm
would
not
love
touching it
but
with a 20
that's
foot
all
pole.
right.
The thing is I didn't play it on my Switch, on my internet.
What does that matter?
But you were doing split screen.
Oh, she sounds like she's getting worse.
Yes, there's a sign on TikTok that somebody. It was a sign somebody took a picture of. It said something like, "Make sure to get your shingles shot." But a troublemaker came around and changed
Oh.
alerts, and it said, "Make sure to get your shingles shit."
It's very important.
It's really funny. Don't forget, stay healthy.
Your shankles are very important. They should be shit in the proper way.
But
Oh,
anyway,
can we say that?
whatever.
Shovel.
Yeah,
Oh,
I said it first. I said it
Off the
first. I said it
rails.
first. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
We've talked about
So what have
far
you-
worse things on this show.
What have you been playing, Lube? Oh, sorry. Were you going to ask a question?
I wasn't. No.
Okay, Lube.
I've also been playing Fortnite, and I've always been a fan of the Horde Rush mode. I love those modes in like any game. Like,
I was gonna say I saw you playing Horde Rush the other day.
yeah, like, well, because I got on a little bit earlier, and I was like, oh, I got some time to kill. I'm gonna do this Horde Rush, and I would love to play it with my friends, but my friends don't like to play Horde Rush stuff.
Listen, I am not included in that. I will play whatever, but you are right. The group.
Prefers.
I don't have anything
the
wrong
battle
with regular
royale, which is
Fortnite.
fine.
I love regular Fortnite, but yes, it's very hard to get people to play other modes in anything. So
Yeah,
yes, I understand.
But I mean, I really like those types of games. Like I like the 4-person co-op. I don't know if it's called like a tower defense genre
basically
or
Yeah, it's just
you know, something
Horde
like
Horde Rush is
mode.
what it's
Yeah,
called.
like,
Yeah.
I liked the Halo version of it. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
with
you know,
that.
it's a whole bunch of enemies in a level. You clear them all, and then the next wave starts.
Yeah. Yep. Or yeah. So like I have a lot of fun doing that. But I also played Fortnite regular no build mode with my friends, and we won. We won and we lost, but we had fun.
I didn't play too much this week, but I had some good luck too when we played. So
That last match that we played together that night where the guy was stuck on the bottom.
Yes,
of the
yes, yes, yes,
hill,
yes,
and
yes.
we should have lost that game. But
I know.
man, we won it.
I'm so happy I had that chainsaw. If I didn't have that, I was just riding the chainsaw everywhere at the end of the game to try and find a safe spot, and I wound up like I rode it up that hill before you guys got trapped down there. And if I didn't have it, I would have been stuck down there too. So.
And you missed that part too when we got annihilated in that bunker.
Yeah.
But I had the medallion and I crouched and went invisible, and they came running down and they were just dumbfounded because they didn't know where. And I just snuck right up and out and disappeared.
10th Division says the chainsaw is so fun. I agree. There's a whole bunch of traversal stuff in the game that I like, but I want to make sure I use the chainsaw while it's here because it will be gone after Fort Nightmares. So I want to get full use out of it. I love the chainsaw. For anybody who doesn't know, it's a chainsaw that you pick up. You can attack people with it, but it's got traversal where you stick it in the ground and it basically drags you across the ground, and you get to steer where it goes. It's
Oh.
just so much fun.
10th Division also said my favorite thing is when you're sprinting with it. You're
Yeah, we were
running with it
talking
like
about that.
freaking Leatherface.
You hold when you run with it, you hold it above your head like Leatherface,
Oh,
because
man, that's
Leatherface
great.
is in the game. So
That's great.
the little attention to detail like that, I really love. So.
I'm also still playing Helldivers 2. I'm still really into that, and they've just they did a massive rework on
I
the
was reading
game,
about that.
and I think they actually made it too easy,
People are complaining.
I guess. But it brought a lot more people back to the game, which was good, because there was a lot of people who were like, this game's too hard, forget it.
Mhm.
You know, and but the people who like stuck through with it, like me, are now like, oh man, I was used to it being hard and I was getting really good at it. And now I'm like, oh, now I'm really just like cutting through enemies. But I still really like it. It's fun. The story's always evolving, so there's always new missions and new stuff that's going on in the game, new storyline stuff. And I also been playing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate. With my wife on the Switch. We hooked the Switch up to the TV, so we're just playing it on there. And we've beaten it enough times where we got Splinter back to the base.
Spoiler alert.
Yep. So I think that's like 8 times, I think.
And
9
not so
times.
Splintered Fate anymore.
And they're like,
it's a really good game.
but now they're like, there's more to this storyline, or like we still don't even know who like the question mark person is. So I'm like, oh my god, do we keep going?
You gotta know.
Yeah, well, we like
and there's
it.
no other way to get the information.
Well, but
You have to play the
that's
game.
that's the point of that kind of game, though, right? Is just to keep playing through it,
Yeah.
even if you
Well,
win,
even
you just-
like just like from the beginning, that's the point of goal or
Mhm.
point of the game. But yeah, there's a lot more stuff to do than just like finish the game once.
Yeah, or like if you do it and you're done and you want to be done, that's fine.
Yeah.
You get a feel for it, because like my younger stepson was watching us play and he's like, you just do the same thing over and over and beat the boss over and
I
over.
said,
And I'm
go
like,
to bed.
Yeah, I said, it's your bedtime. Get the hell out of here.
And what does that kid play?
He
Same
plays
thing over and over again.
He's
I bet.
playing World of Warships. He's playing some game called Trailmakers. I don't
Never
know if you know
know
anything
it.
about that. It's some kind of weird build game where you like build tanks or planes or like anything you want, and then
He's
you like
gotta
fight with them or
stop-
something.
Oh, look at this.
I don't know. It's real. It's weird. I don't understand it, but he loves it. He loves it. And he's been playing. He just started playing one of the Metal Gear games. I don't know which one. He's playing a Metal Gear game. He likes Devil May Cry stuff. He was playing Devil May Cry 4. I think.
Trailmakers came out in 2019. It has a 93% review average. So people really like it. It looks like, a Roblox
Yeah.
Minecraft, but it looks all vehicular.
Yes. So that people build different, and I guess you can like slap together anything to kind of build it, and it kind of has like real world physics applied to it.
Mhm.
But some of the stuff I've seen him moving around in, I'm like, no, there's no way that thing would fly or do whatever.
This game's unrealistic.
Yeah. And then I guess you battle people with like your own creations that you make. I don't know.
Play
He likes
solo or team up with friends in multiplayer to conquer the toughest obstacles.
Yeah, so that's what he's playing. And that's about it for me.
Okay.
Just those 3 games that I mentioned for myself. Rami Cowboy, what have you been playing?
Thanks for asking. You might know that I've been playing Neva, the new game from Nomada Studio, the people who did Grease, and you would know that because I put up my review on the site.
No, that's why I didn't know.
It is. I didn't tell The Verge about it. I'll tell The Verge to let you know.
You know, real quick, I'm sorry, I'm going to interject here something. So, like on my news feed, I'll get like stories from like, The Verge or like Games Radar or whatever, like all these others, but I never ever get like stuff from GoNintendo.
I mean, if
on
you
my feed, and
what
I'm
is-
like,
what do you-
I go to your site, like I click on stuff on
what are
your
you
site.
on when you say your feed?
Just like when I open up Google or
Oh,
whatever, just
yeah,
like
I don't know
on
how
your
that stuff
page.
works. Like if you sort by, like I could go on now, and if I did Google News and typed in just Nintendo
Mhm.
and sort by like, recent or whatever, we'll be in there. But as far as like the anchored pieces that get shoveled out like that. I don't. There's something else to it. Like I don't know how it determines that stuff. So
Yeah.
I got no idea.
Yeah, I was
I've
thinking,
had
like,
my own. It's funny because I'll notice that doesn't. I don't care enough to look into it, but there'll be other ones where I like go to look for something,
Mhm.
and I'm like, oh, here we go, and I click the link, and it brings me to GoNintendo. I'm like, oh, all right, this guy knows.
So yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. But.
No, it's fine. So I played Neva. I finished Neva. I really, really, really liked it. It is a great sophomore outing for Nomada Studio, but I will say Grease is the better game. Not gameplay wise, not audio wise, not mechanics wise, just story. The story in Grease I really enjoyed and thought it was really multi-layered and led to some really interesting thoughts. And the story in Neva is good, but it's very like surface level and it doesn't explore relationships like I really wanted it to. And I don't know. It's not a bad story by any means, but when you have Grease and then their second game comes out, you're obviously going to be like, well, let's see what they can do after Grease. And you get this, and I'm like,
The second game is always, I mean, it's the second anything. Like if you have a big hit as your first release, whether it's film, TV show, or game, or any album, anything,
yeah.
The expectations are very high, and people end up hyping things up so much more. And you know, even if it is good and successful, people have a hard time letting it be, I guess. But not saying that's
it is a very,
here.
very, very good game. My only gripe is the story. And again, the story is good. It's just not as good as Grease. So, you know, and it's only going to have that comparison because it's literally the company's second game. Once they get more games out, it's not going to be like, is this good as that and that? And is this good as that, that, and that? It's just, you know, it's their, the sophomore slump, says Almaster Link. Yeah, I don't want to call it a slump because it's not a bad game at all. But, you know, I was hoping it's extra disappointing because like with story, that was the high point of Grease for me. So for it to not measure up to Grease, it was a sticking point. But still an excellent game.
It's kind of like Grease the movie and Grease 2 the movie.
Oh no, I love them equally. Definitely. So I did that. I also am very sad to say that as of last night, or as of 2 nights ago, my journey in The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom has come to an end. I finished the game.
Rage quit.
Too difficult. I finished the game. I will not give spoilers. Don't worry. I'll put together a review hopefully this week. But oh, it was so good. It was really good. And the stuff that you do with the echoes.
At the end?
I teared up a couple times throughout. And then at the very end, like the last 5 minutes, I definitely cried.
You
yeah,
know it's good.
I definitely cried.
Cowboy cries.
There's like a couple story things in there that aren't near the end where I was like, there's like one character who's got a sad story, and there's another thing that happens that's like really nice and sweet, and that got to me a little bit. But yeah, at the end, I won't spoil anything. But when Zelda dies, I was just like, it was,
you're here first, everybody.
It was really good, and the echoes are so much fun, and finding whatever echoes you want to use to solve puzzles and solving them in whatever way you see fit. It's just a lot of fun. And of course, I eventually found like a couple echoes that I would be my go-to for fights just because they were so good. But then other things for like traversal and other elements, I was swapping between a whole bunch of stuff. After I beat the game, I went back into it to see like, what's it like? Can I still play? Is like the main enemy dead? And then it saves right before the main enemy, but the game recognizes that you have finished it once already. So you can still go back out and it lets you do the stuff that you missed. And I was
side quests.
Yeah. And it was like, and now this character, when you talk to them, they'll tell you echoes that you where echoes are that you haven't found. They won't tell you what they are or where exactly they are, but you get the region. And I was like, oh, all right, there's one in this place. I'll go there. And I went, and it was like a ridiculously strong echo. And I was like, oh, if I had this the whole game, this would have been great. It's like, again, I won't spoil, but it was like an echo. I was like, this thing would have killed everybody.
But that goes back to what you guys were talking about last week too, where like sometimes if you have an overpowered attack and you just spam that, you kind of lose the fun. Right?
Well, I did have a lot of
now
fun.
Was that one really hard to get to or really off the beaten path?
It wasn't really hard to get to physically, but it is something I don't think you could stumble on it by accident.
How many
Like
beds
the
tall
things
is
that
it?
you need to do to get to it
Mhm.
are not physically hard, but there's a bit of a riddle to it.
Okay.
And I had like somebody had told me something in the game, and I was like, all right, I'll go investigate. And I did what I thought you were supposed to do, and it led me to this thing. If you might be in that region and notice something, and if you notice that thing and you follow it, then
Mhm.
you could get to it. But chances are you're probably not going to find
Unless
it
you're
that way.
like really like exploring off the beaten path. type
Yes, and you have
stuff.
to be paying like pretty close attention to something in particular. But still, it was fun to get that echo. I'm missing like one echo in every region now, so I have most of them. But and there's some really really fun echoes and some really cool enemies, and like there's things that you fight that are weak to ice or weak to fire, or weak to whatever, and you might have echoes that all have fire, ice, or whatever element, but they all use them in slightly different ways. You can, you got like a fire keys that can fly and attack. You got a whiz orb that can shoot a fire thing at somebody. So depending on what you're fighting and what it does, a keys might be better than a whiz orb or vice versa or whatever.
Situational.
But it's awesome.
Question. Now you
Yes.
may have talked about this before, but is there bug collecting or flower collecting in the game? Because that's make or break for me.
There is no bug collecting. There is no flower
Wow,
collecting.
forget
But
it.
there's
Forget it.
there's
Break.
echo collecting.
No.
There's so many echoes to
I
get.
want those bugs. I want those flowers.
Trying to think of there. I mean, there
Or
are things you
Are there,
collect
like the
definitely.
nuts, like the 999.
No, there's a stamp guy
Pose.
who has pedestals all around the world that you have to find, and he gives you stamp cards. And when you fill out each card, he gives you a little something. And if you find all of them, he gives you an extra special something.
Ooh.
So
There's
I
an
still haven't
early-
found all of them.
There is an early echo that's a spider.
Oh, yeah.
Deku Babas are flowers, says Centivision. That's true. They are flowers and they're in the game. I don't know that you collect them, but you work with them. Yeah, man, I really like this game a lot. It's obviously it's not surprising. I like a Zelda game, but this one just getting to play
Typical
as Zelda,
fanboy.
and also like here's a brand new Zelda game. And you're not going to do what you do in the other Zelda games. Like you're playing and fighting in a completely different way and doing puzzles in a completely different way. And
you put beds everywhere to make a ladder or something.
I
That's what
did
saw the
use a
commercial.
lot of beds in the beginning, but you get things later on that really
Better than beds.
Yeah. The best part is
Wow.
I do really like the beds because you get multiple types of beds.
Mm.
And depending on how nice the bed is, if you sleep in it, you get more health. So like I eventually got Zelda's bed, an
Mhm.
echo of that. So like I was fighting a boss and he beat the crap out of me, and I went and hid in a corner and threw out Zelda's bed and just slept there. And for a couple minutes and got all my health back pretty quickly. But the dungeons are awesome, especially in the second half of the game. Spoiler alert: there's an ice dungeon and there's a water
An
dungeon,
underwater temple.
and there's a like a
Ice
far-
and water.
a forest dungeon. And they are like really good, and there are multiple floors, and they're inside and outside, and I love that. It was like there's some really fun dungeons, and the way they do the map is awesome. It's a little bit like it used to be, but much more evolved. With like it'll be like the map will show you like a ladder icon, and it'll have like a line, and the line draws to wherever the ladder pops out on the other floor. And I was like, oh, this is so much easier to read like this. It was great. It was great.
Is there a horse you can ride?
There is.
Do you get to name your horse?
Yes.
What'd you name your horse?
I believe I just went with Trash Boat like I do with all my
Fair,
horses.
fair.
But there's a ranch. I'm not going to say the name of the ranch, but there's a ranch.
Lon Ranch.
There is like Zelda has her own horse,
Mhm.
but it's like there's a mission you got to do to get it. But also the ranch has horses.
Newman's own.
And that's right. The person at the ranch is like, you can take whatever horse you want. It's fine. So you can, there's brown and black and tan and white and whatever. You just grab it, like speckled and whatever. You can take whatever horse you want and ride it out. So yes, there is a horse. But also there's,
Course.
you can quote unquote ride enemies. Like you can call out a bird echo and pick up the bird and like coast off the side of a mountain by holding on to it. Or you could do with a bird too. You can use your reversed bond power. So you connect to it with your green beam and it'll drag you wherever the bird decides to fly on its own. So you can just coast with the bird, or you could go wherever the bird feels like going. And sometimes you need both. It's a great game. It was great. The soundtrack is really good. And as I talked about on Patreon last week, the music, there are a whole bunch of tunes that are very memorable, but with Dungeons in particular, they go a more like atmospheric approach. It's not stuff you're gonna like hum to yourself, but it's music that's like really good and really like sticks with you when you're in the dungeon. Like there was some really awesome stuff. I was just listening to the soundtrack again yesterday while I was working.
Does any of the music have any musical motifs or throwback to Bayonetta?
No, only Agatha all along. Yeah, exactly. There are plenty of motifs in this that are from other Zelda games. So there's that. They play with a couple Zelda themes and they'll sprinkle in a little like motif over here, over there, but the whole other song is different. And it's just great. I'm so sad that it's over. There's side quest stuff. I did a whole bunch of side quests, to be honest, but there's some side quest stuff left. There's more Dream Warrior stuff that I want to do, whatever that was called, the Dream Dojo, which I really loved the Dream Dojo stuff. That was
It's like trials.
awesome. Yeah, it's this guy in Kakariko who's like, I train people in their dreams. Come to my dojo and you go to sleep and then I'll give you a special challenge. And it's like, some of them are pretty difficult. It'll be like, kill all these guys in this amount of time, but you can't use your echoes. Or like one of them, as I said before, is the mummy guys, not the Reed Dead that scream at you, just mummy looking guys. And you have to get them to fall into a hole, but you go into the dream without any echoes. So you can only make an echo of whatever's in there for you to make an echo out of. And there's like sand and a couple fans and there's like 8 mummies wandering around and you have a time limit on doing it. It's like, I don't know, a minute you got to do it in. And it was like, it took me a few tries, but boy, did I like doing it. It was a lot of fun. So that kind of stuff. Good stuff. It's a great game. It's an absolutely great game. I am really hopeful at some point Nintendo decides to do a sequel to this. Like I would like to see another Zelda game with echoes expanded. Like I would absolutely love that.
Echo.
It could be
Echoed Echoes of Wisdom. Yeah, that's what it could be called.
Or Echoes of Wisdom.
So I played that. I also played Metaphor Refantasio, the demo of Metaphor Refantasio. I haven't finished it. Tears of the Echo, Kyle says.
Wait, what are the things? Wisdom, power, and courage, right? So it could do echoes of courage and echoes of...
Well, it's Echoes of Wisdom because that's Zelda's piece.
I know.
You can't do echoes of somebody else because then it'd be Link or
Did we talk about this? Are we going to get a Ganon story?
They do a flip the script and you play
where we just find out that he's just been
Echoes of Power and he's been misunderstood
this whole time.
And Link and Zelda are the bad guys. They were dictators.
You guys are working with the impression that Ganon is the bad guy.
No,
we're just saying now Ganon's the good guy. You've been playing as the bad guy the whole time.
I saw what went down in this game. I don't think I was the bad guy. Although Link, well, I guess I won't say that.
From a certain point of view, the Jedi are bad.
That's right. That's right. So yes, I played Metaphor Refantasio, the demo. It's a turn-based RPG with a little bit of action elements in it, made by the Persona team at Atlas. I'd been really excited about it because it looked awesome and it got great reviews. And I was like, let me just play the demo first because the game's going to be 80 plus hours for me. So I want to get the demo, just make sure I really enjoy it. And I really enjoy it. It's, the combat system is so good. So when you see enemies out on the field, you can sneak up and get a hit first. And that gives you advantage in the battle. And then you get a round of attacks and, it's like standard RPG stuff, but it just feels so good to do. And it's like the way that like the art style and like the flashiness of the battles, it just feels awesome. It's really enjoyable. Plus I love dungeon crawling and that's what you're doing in this. And I'm not like extremely far into the demo. I beat the boss at the top of this tower, and now I'm escaping into a cave somewhere. I went through like an outside area, and now I'm going into a cave with 2 other people. And I'm excited to see what's next. But music's great, game's great. Really enjoyed the demo. I can see why people like this so much. Story is really interesting. The story is about these monsters that are causing trouble, and they're called humans. So I'll tell you, they look kind of human, but something's going on here. So yeah, just the demo. Really enjoyed that. I played last night. I played Super Mario Party Jamboree. I had my first chance to play a full run of one of the boards. I did the Wiggler one that we played at the demo event.
The Wiggler.
I had a 4-player online game
Wiggle down your house.
with family, and it was a blast and played fine. And like this Mario Party is really good. And like the partner characters that they have in it, as you mentioned on the podcast a few weeks ago, the board will randomly have a partner character drop in. Like in our game, it was Mario and it was Rosalina. They drop into the board at certain times, and if you pass them, they will join up with you, and they will get you bonus things. So like I joined with Mario. Mario adds in another dice block. So you roll, and then Mario rolls, and it puts the two numbers together. But on top of that, when you get to the star spaces, as long as you have a companion character and you have enough money, you can get 2 stars.
That's what happens when you make friends with a wealthy princess. They get their perks, and you benefit.
That's right. So if you could get the companion character, it makes a big difference. But also, anybody else on the board, if they pass you, the companion goes with them.
Oh,
And on top of that, the companion's around for like 3 or 4 turns. It's not the whole game, but multiple companions can pop up. And on top of that, whenever somebody passes the companion, whenever the first person passes the companion, it puts you in a mini game with everybody else. And whoever wins the mini game gets the companion. But the person who met the companion first gets a slight edge in the mini game. So it's not a guarantee. Just because you passed it first, you're going to get it. But it was great. And we had
you got to have the skills to back it up, people.
We had the most quintessential Mario Party game I've ever played. It
Did your
had
sister play with
everything.
you?
No, she did. She would, but she's not
Oh,
around
she
right now. It had everything Mario Party has. Like, somebody had stars.
Mario Party games.
Somebody had stars and lost all their stars. 3-on-1 mini games where
Bowser
things went
Jr.
crazy.
around.
No, Imposter Bowser is in this, and Imposter Bowser. Somebody landed on the spot, and you fall down the hole, and Imposter Bowser's like, all right, you're going to give me something good. And it's like a list of 8 things, and it just randomly picks. And Imposter Bowser picked, give me a star. So I stole a star from my cousin. But my cousin had a companion character with him.
Yeah.
So that gives Bowser another chance to steal something again. And he randomly stole a second star from my cousin. He's like, what the hell? You're supposed to help me out,
You're not a
Rosalina. You screwed us over.
companion, yeah.
But here's the crazy part. We were all tied at 3 stars. In one turn, he lost 3 stars. And with 1 turn left in the game, he won another star. And then thanks to bonus stars at the end, he won the whole game. So
see, you never know.
See, it's all about chance.
You never know.
Hi, Zikamuto. But you can play pro mode and turn off much of the chance aspect. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. The mini games are really good. There's some that are in a style that you've played before, but there's a lot of other ones that were really new and interesting and just fun. It was just, I really love Mario Party, and the secret to Mario Party is well-designed boards and really fun mini games, and that's exactly what this has. So we had an absolute blast, and we were already talking last night about getting together online to play again soon, and we saw them in real life today, and they're like, more Mario Party. I was like, yeah, let's play. So and we did the play online. You can do 2 people on one Switch online with friends. So if you have someone that lives with you and they want to play together, but they want to join friends online, the 2 of you can do that on the same system.
That's cool.
Also, this Mario Party allows for 8 players online, depending on the mode. So you can have 8 people in one type of game. And then there's also the 20-player online Coopathlon, but that is only 1 player per system online. So you cannot play that co-op with somebody else, but up to 20 people online, depending on your mode. So it's awesome. It's great. It's a ton of fun. I really liked it. The end. Is that all that I played? I did Metaphor. I did Neva. I did Zelda. I did Mario Party. I played Fortnite, but we already talked about Fortnite. Yeah, I guess that's it. All right, let's do questions. Oh no.
I got questions. You want to hear them?
Yeah, I was gonna
You
say
wanna hear 'em?
I got all this stuff.
What?
Oh. Perfect.
Exactly the same. Send your
Oh my
questions
gosh,
to
I'm so tired.
goninpod
I'm so sorry.
at gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com. Dude says, maybe I will.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo, video games in general, or whatever the hell you want. NicoDarunia sent in a question.
To Michaels, we speak your name.
I'm glad you're here for this question, Lube.
Oh, wowee.
Is it about Turok?
Who do you consider an underrated pro wrestler and why? Also, who is an overrated pro wrestler?
Oh,
And I'm
man.
referring to all time, not just the present. There you go. All right, so let's go.
I'll need some time to think.
Okay. Let me think. Underrated. Akira Tozawa is very underrated in my opinion. Akira Tozawa, I'm very happy he's gotten a lot more TV time lately. I don't mind that he's in like a joke faction. That's fine. I like him with Otis. It's fine. But Akira Tozawa is a legit, really good cruiserweight, and he can do some incredible things. And I've always wanted Tozawa to get some kind of push. I'm very happy, as I said, that he's on TV now, but I'd love to see a legit push for him, even if it's like a lower, like even a speed championship. It doesn't matter. I just would love to see him get like a legitimate push of some kind. So that's my underrated that came to mind right away. Do you have an underrated? John Cena.
No, I mean, some of those, like, I don't know. I might catch flack for this, but I think like William Regal was like underrated.
I think you're spot on with
You
that.
know, like that guy was good, and they never really.
Regal was great, yes.
Yeah.
And he's like the whole package of a great like technical wrestler and like a great character, like on the mic and
Yeah.
everything. Yes, I completely agree with that.
Cool.
Overrated.
I mean, I know people love him, but I think Goldberg was a little overrated.
I don't. Goldberg's fine,
Yeah,
but I don't
like,
really.
I like him, but
Yeah,
I don't.
he was just like
He would do his one thing. Like he was more of a John Cena than John Cena as far as like moveset,
but the
you
thing,
know?
the thing is, if you're going to be like that kind of wrestler, like the super powered wrestler that only does a couple moves, you need to have like a really great personality or character.
Yeah.
And even say what you want about Cena, but Cena was a very strong face character.
Yeah.
Goldberg is just Goldberg. Like he's just the
Mhm.
guy. He doesn't really do much or say much, and that's all there is to it. So yeah, Goldberg's not a bad one. Overrated. Trying to think of somebody who like
They gave a push that didn't really feel like they deserved the push.
Yeah.
Maybe, or
nobody's coming to mind right away. Like I'm trying to think of somebody that I don't like in terms of wrestling, like skills in wrestling.
yeah.
But, man, nobody's coming to mind right away.
Nicky Hill, who do you got? Who do you think?
Man, it's a question I so
Yeah,
desperately
no.
want to answer, and I can't think of an overrated.
No, I guess he was. I would say, what's his face, 619. But
I know you don't like Rey
I know,
Mysterio. I
but
don't
yes,
think he's overrated.
yeah, I think he's a little. I don't think he's a heavyweight champion. I'll put it like that. I think someone that size and stature shouldn't qualify as a heavyweight champion. Midweight, but it's not skill level. Like he's obviously very skilled and very
Yes.
talented.
You shouldn't keep having him fight like, the big show that hasn't happened in years, but like the absolutely huge
Yeah.
guys. Yeah, you can make it more believable. I typed in overrated wrestlers on Google just to see what it came up with. Number 1, Hulk Hogan. I mean,
Larger than life.
yeah, but number 2 was Goldberg.
All right.
I'm looking for other ones I agree with. I don't see any really. Ryback is on here. Whoever rated Ryback highly, I like. Bret Hart. No, he's not overrated. All right, there you go. We can't think of overrated, but we got our underrateds. You can also, oh boy, join the Patreon.
Where?
I don't know where these things are. Is it under random?
Oh, for $1.
I legit don't know where any of this stuff is.
Sad.
Mom Brain always does
I
it.
know. We love that area.
Nicky Hill, did you know you could join the Patreon?
Yeah.
For $1.
For
Oh,
$1.
yeah.
Thanks, Billy. Yes, $1 to join the Patreon. Grantimus did. Thank you, Grantimus. Hi, pod crew. If you had to replace one ingredient If you had to replace one ingredient in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, which one would you replace? What would you replace it with?
I would replace. Oh, can I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would replace
No.
the jelly with Nutella.
I was gonna say that.
I would replace the jelly with fluff. Yeah,
course.
because I love a fluffer nutter.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of a case where I would replace the peanut butter. There's not. I love peanut butter so much.
Yeah, jelly and what else would go?
Yeah,
with
what are you gonna put with
jelly?
jelly? People do like cheese and bacon and yeah, no. It's yeah. I'm sorry, jelly. You're going.
Yeah, replace the peanut butter and honey. I've done that. 10th division.
Honey.
That's a good sandwich. Yeah, I've done that.
I love peanut butter too much. Grantimus, it is you. Yeah, I love peanut butter too much. Peanut butter staying. Peanut butter Nutella is great. Peanut butter fluff. Peanut butter honey.
I've done peanut butter with Cheerios on bread.
Ooh, regular Cheerios?
Yeah.
I haven't done that. I would try that. I was thinking maybe you do honey nut Cheerios.
I'd replace the bread with rocks. That
With
doesn't make any
rocks?
sense.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
What else would you
Probably
put
bad
peanut
for
butter
your
and jelly
teeth.
on it that you would like?
I put peanut butter
How about a waffle?
and jelly
They say English
in my
muffin.
oatmeal.
English muffin, sure.
There you go.
Replace the bread with pizza, says Ice Dilbert.
Not for peanut butter and,
Peanut butter pizza, sure, definitely.
and oatmeal.
I'd eat it.
Oatmeal. Oh gosh, jelly. But I put my peanut butter and oatmeal. Peanut butter and jelly.
I mean, I was putting that peanut butter dust in oatmeal for a while there. I like it. Peanut butter is so good. I had, like I said, I had those Reese's pancakes today, and they were amazing. Peanut butter sauce, oh, so good.
The jelly with peanuts. Ugh.
And unfortunately, guys, that's it. I know last week we had our longest show ever, but Mom Brain left in the middle of this one because the show was so bad.
I'm sorry, I'm fading so fast.
Do
This
is
rough.
not here.
He's the
We
glue.
can't do
Speaking
music.
into-
We got no spiders and flies. It wouldn't be right. It'd be disrespectful. Would Nutella go with jam? Says Solid Master Link.
Well, Nutella is my jam.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
there's chocolate with like fruit
Sure.
inside of it, so yeah, it could work. I would do that. Replace jelly with jam. Says David. So that's it, guys. That's all we got. Will be back next week. Nikki Hill, I guess, will not be back next week. Lube will not be
Next
here
week
next week.
will not be here.
Mom Brain will be
You
here.
may-
Actually, I won't
you'll
be
get
here.
me one more time before Christmas, most likely.
Yeah.
I will be here.
I won't be here for the next 2 weeks.
Unfortunately.
Potentially.
Radical defect. That's a hell of an offer, but I think I'll have to turn it down. Well, then that's it. We'll do a little after show, but that's our regular show. From the highest of highs last week to the lowest of lows this week. Not because of
Sorry,
you guys.
geez.
No. I mean,
Yeah,
we
no.
literally
No,
had
no,
somebody.
I understand.
No.
I understand.
We went from a
highest
show.
rated,
Myself
highest
out.
rated, longest. Let's just keep this going. Don't let this party stop.
We had a show
Whatever.
with someone that I met in person for the first time.
Second
ever.
time.
The first time I met them
Yeah.
in person. The second time they saw me in person, but didn't say anything.
The thing about that guy, he does his homework. He's not afraid of putting in the work.
What does that mean?
He was listening. He went back to listening to early podcasts and
Well,
like
He's-
brought up the
he's-
spiders and flies.
he's
from-
a legit fan of the show.
no, I know,
I
but
don't even know who you're talking
He didn't
about.
put in work. It's like he's a fan of the show.
no, but he went back to listen to early podcasts and was like, wait a second, this isn't going on,
He's
And
a
I admire that.
dedicated fan. Dedicated fan.
That's why he's successful, and that's why my robot doesn't work.
All right, everybody. That's all we got. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Have a
Goodbye,
good week,
everybody.
and be careful out
Bye,
there.
everybody. Sorry, I'm lame.
It's a jungle out there.
Sorry, I'm late. After show, anything anybody want to talk about?
You know,
I'm just
I
so tired.
saw
I'm so sorry.
I saw a question. It was on a site. It was probably on one of those Games Radar or the Verge sites or something.
GoNintendo.
And it said, "What's your earliest memory of a PlayStation game?" And you know what I thought of, Rami? Bet you're not going to remember, but I remember. My earliest memory of a PlayStation game is at the Bridgewater Mall when they had Babbage's or whatever was there. It may have been GameStop, but I think it was Babbage's. And they had a demo of a PlayStation 1, and we played War Gods together on it.
I
That's my
honestly
earliest
do
memory.
remember that, but I did not. That's been a buried memory that I haven't thought of until this very moment.
Yep.
Um,
I thought of it when that question was posed to me. I was like, wow.
My first PlayStation memory, I remember the game in my mind, but I don't remember what it's called. It was one of those Dragon's Lair style games, and it was Brain Dead 13. That was the name of the game. Brain Dead 13. The kid down the street had a PlayStation. I didn't have one yet, and he had rented Brain Dead 13, I think, and I was like, oh my god, this is incredible. That is my very first memory of PlayStation. It was back when I was like, I can't get a PlayStation. I'm a Nintendo fan.
My uncle had a PlayStation like in his bedroom. And I, classic kid, show up at the house and be like, "Can I go play a game system?" And I would go play, but I don't remember what I would play. Probably, I think Crash Bandicoot was on there, but I don't know if there was other stuff.
Spyro, Twisted Metal.
No.
Jumping Flash.
No.
I remember War Gods, and I remember playing some kind of racing game at Romy Cowboy's house, and you could be either on a bike, a skateboard, a street luge, or like something else. And I would always pick the street luge.
Yes, I loved that game.
I can't remember the name
I want to.
I'm glad you remember that too, because I loved being that street luge. It was the only thing I was good with.
Let me try and find that.
I don't even remember the other choices. I remember bike and skateboard, and I think there was another choice. I think there was 4 choices.
ESPN Extreme Games.
That was it.
ESPN Extreme Games. Yes. I thought this was the most fun game in the world.
Yeah, that's it.
It was so good. It was basically Road Rash, but with other types of things. So you'd race down long streets and you'd punch other people, or like, oh god,
you'd knock them down and stuff.
I thought of this game not that long ago because I was like, I really want to play that again. That was so much fun. I would love to see like how it holds up now.
And that's on PlayStation 1, right?
That was PlayStation 1. Yeah, that was also one of the very first games that I played. Again, the same kid down the street had that.
I remember playing it at your house. So at one point you either borrowed it or
I got that
it.
game. Yeah, when that kid down the street had that game. At that point, I was like, I got to get a PlayStation. I need to play this game. And the kid another kid across the street also had it. And like, he would either come to my house and play at my house, or I'd go to his house. We'd play it so much. Yeah, so much fun. What a stupid fun game. They did a sequel. It wasn't as good, but yeah, I wonder what. I'm gonna look up very quickly what a used copy goes for.
Yeah, can you download it anyway?
ESPN Extreme
It's gotta be like,
Games. Illegally, you can, yeah. Let's see. eBay in the old school big case for $25. Ooh. In the regular jewel case, $3.
There we go.
Oh no! Wait. This is no. This is the sequel. The first one, $12. Okay. Man, that game was good. I want to play that so bad.
Yeah, you know what? I'd play it. If you get it, I'll play it with you. For sure.
PS1.
I'd try that again.
Yes.
I remember not being good at it, but I remember having a good time.
I should look at like footage of it just to remind myself. So it came out on PlayStation and it came out on MS-DOS and has never been re-released at any point. No digital service or anything. That is it.
That's crazy.
I know. That is really crazy. Oh man, let's see what the reception was. ESPN Extreme Games was the biggest selling Sony published PlayStation game worldwide at the time. So people liked it. Yeah. Reviewers criticized the game. GamePro said it, quote, doesn't push the limits of 32-bit graphics and gameplay, but it does take you on a thrilling ride, end quote. That's what I'm doing now. I'm going to look up footage of that game. All right, everybody. Again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Play some games, rest, relax, hang out with friends and family. You deserve it.
Have a great week and be safe.
Be safe.
And go watch Over the Garden Wall. It's that time of the year.
Me and my wife were just talking about that. We're going to watch it Halloween night.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. You got to blow them a kiss in honor of Dew.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
There you go.
Speak your name.
Now we're done.